Hey guys, welcome to the show. We've got so much to get to, especially how we're failing kids on education, but not the book way, although totally the book way. Ben Dominic of Heartland and the Transom will be here to talk about what's going on with Medicaid expansion in Indiana, how it might affect you and where it might be coming to your state, and election results. Got it all.
Stand by.
I'm standing by, Ashley.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tony Katz Tonight.
You are go.
We couldn't fail more if we tried. We couldn't fail students more. We couldn't fail kids more if we wanted to. The level of which the failure is not only, it should not only frighten you, it should not only scare you, it should really make you question what it is that those who are opposed to what I'm about to get into are really all about. Why in the world would we want to be a part of a society that does not congratulate the winner for winning, for being better than everybody else at this one thing? Why must we be so worried about how others are going to feel that we allow ourselves the opportunity to not celebrate their successes? I take you to the Archie R. Cole Middle School. Where is this? Where is the Archie R. Middle School? I think it's in Connecticut. No, it's in Rhode Island. So that might answer the question. Citing concerns about the quote-unquote exclusive nature of the annual honors night at Archie R. Cole Middle School, school officials have decided to scrap the tradition. Instead, students who would normally be recognized at the annual spring tradition will be honored during team-based recognition ceremonies and graduation. Members of the school community have long expressed concerns related to the exclusive nature of honors night. By having the recognition ceremonies during team-based ceremonies, it will, quote, afford us the opportunity to celebrate the individual and collective success of all students and their effort, progress, and excellence.
Are they serious with
We
this?
are a crazed society, Ashley. Ashley in for Paige today. We are a maddening society. Yeah, they're serious. What they have determined, what they have decided is that somehow, if one student gets straight A's, and the other student gets straight B's, we should not celebrate the student who got the straight A's. We should say, good effort on all of you, and getting those straight A's was no great accomplishment, no better or no worse than the person who got straight B's or straight C's.
Oh, of course. That would just discourage kids from, doing even better in school because there's no point to it if everybody's going to be treated equally.
Let's dig in a little bit if we can.
Ooh.
Just a bit. Because I didn't know this would get you so crazed there, Ashley.
Well, I graduated with honors from college, and that's, something that you work hard to do, and that's a goal, and a lot of people want to do that. And even when you're younger, you strive to be on the honor roll or, a special kind of student society.
We have come in a very, very unique and different direction. Let me give it a go.
Yes.
We have determined that your hard work is not as important as the cheering on of the entire student body, regardless of their effort. This is where we're at. Think of it in its most progressive manner. What is more important, that you have succeeded with hard work, or that everybody gets to go on? Their answer is that everybody gets to go on, even if they were socially promoted to go on. Your hard work was not because of you, it was because of something else. We can compare this to how they view about wealth. That somehow people who have attained a level of wealth did not get it on their own. It came through some other way. How else do you get to the unbelievable thesis of you didn't build that? The idea behind you didn't build that is that the roads that were used and the electric grid that was used and the whatever else that society has created that was used for you to create your business that then gave you this wealth was not created by you, and therefore you are not entitled to that wealth. Somehow that is part of the collective, this idea that we all have to be in it together. The nights that the student spent studying instead of partying or playing video games, the nights, I should say, the student spent up later than they really should have gone to bed to work on that project, the things that they sacrificed in their life or their parents helped them sacrifice for, because maybe it was tutoring to be able to get through. That's a sacrifice. That's something that parents do for their kids. And clearly, parents should want to do everything possible for their children. Or are you now going to tell me that, you see, that proves it, because those parents were able to do these things for their kids, and that's why they got these grades, and these other kids, they weren't able to get that help? That comes to the great and grand conclusion. Life is not fair. And when you see a school say that they will not provide, they will not have the ceremony to honor the kids who have gotten the A's or have gotten the grades or who have excelled, they are rejecting this basic premise and concept that life is unfair. As a matter of fact, they are so unbelievably upset by the fact that life is unfair that they believe they can alter it. They believe they can, through social engineering, through progress, as they want to call it, recreate the entire system and strategy. They are convinced that they can recreate, they can reassess, they can reset the entire spectrum of humanity and create fairness. There is no respect for the student who has excelled. There is no respect for the student who has done well. There is no respect at all. They don't care about that student. They cannot express a joy for that student for fear of what it will do to the other student. That is not about fairness. That is about shame. They believe that if you glorify the student who has excelled, that you are somehow shaming the student who just got through. Well, maybe the student just got through. That is the best they can do. Let their parents celebrate them. But the student who got straight A's, or the student who got the perfect SAT score, and it's a whole new SAT score. It was a 1600. That was the best score when I was going to high school. I don't know. It's like a 4700 now, and I don't know. You get like 3 gold stars. I have no idea how they figure it out anymore. There's 9,000 different tests to get into college, as if somehow college is going to help you. This is where we're at. This sickening idea that by preventing a celebration of success, we have somehow done better by those who didn't do as well. And they do it without a sense of irony. They have no concept and idea that what they're doing is shaming those other kids. Don't you think they notice that we're not having the award ceremony for the kids who are in honors? It's supposed to mean something to be a kid who gets into the honors. Why not celebrate it? Other kids can't handle it? I can tell you, this is absolutely true story. Hold on, I'm taking a sip here. Sorry, a little parched. Growing up in Middletown, New Jersey, I lived on a cul-de-sac. Now, it wasn't actually a true cul-de-sac because it was a circle, actually, and there were houses on the inside of the circle, right? But there were like 40 families on the whole circle, and we were pretty much isolated from other neighborhoods. I knew, without question, that in that neighborhood, amongst my friends and my brother's friends, I was not as smart as everybody else on the block. I knew it from the time I was in junior high school. I knew it. I was fully aware and fully cognizant. I always have known that I have to work harder than everybody else. I have to study twice as hard. I have to work at it twice as hard to get to the place where everybody else seemingly gets there naturally. I have known that my whole life, and it has done me well to recognize this reality and realize that if I want to get to the places I want to be, I'm going to have to put in the work. What did they learn out there in Rhode Island at the Archie R. Cole Middle School? You don't have to work. We won't let you know that other kids are smarter than you. You're just special just the way you are. This is Tony Katz Tonight.
Ever shop at a big mega corporate chain jewelry store and feel like a number?
In a box store, there's a sales process where you have to get 5 or 6 standards on top of the actual item you're selling.
That's Chris Cassidy, who used to work in a big box corporate jewelry store and hated it.
Sincere personal interest is absolutely missing.
Because it was all about upselling the customer, add-ons like warranties and credit programs and maintenance contracts.
A checklist of what needs to be done.
Then she found Distinctive Diamonds, where it's personal, not mechanical.
At Distinctive Diamonds, it's all about
So, Jim
your
is back?
special occasion. We're invested in your love story. That's the difference.
Yes, Jim got disconnected. He said his call got dropped, so he's
We're not
back.
selling you a warranty.
And then we have a
one
call
and
at 10
only
a.m. that
Distinctive
we're gonna
Diamonds.
make, so.
No pressure, better education, higher quality, more selection, and real people like Chris who care about you.
I'm there to make you happy.
Okie
I'm
dokie.
not there to make a whole bunch of VPs happy and make sure I have that checklist done.
Discover the distinctive difference at Distinctive Diamonds, Keystone at the Crossing.
Nice shot.
Thanks.
Hey, I'm playing on a team in the Good News Open. You should enter a team too. Great tournament.
What's the Good News Open?
It's a charity golf benefit for
What's
Good News
the Good
Ministries.
News
They care for the
Open?
homeless and needy.
I don't know. There's so many tournaments.
Not like this. You get 18 holes
we get
of
an
golf,
update
lunch
on
off
the Pacer
grill,
score,
unlimited
please?
food and drinks on the course, a steak dinner at the end, and get this.
Yeah, they just went to commercial. Let me look it up.
Best tournament ever, and it's for a good cause.
Thank you. So, by the way, headache
Good
today
News
like
Ministries
nothing else.
provides food,
I cannot
shelter, healthcare,
shake it.
Other vital services and the gospel for homeless men, families,
Crazy.
and disadvantaged inner city children.
Tied at 27 with 8:41 to play in the second.
Help those less fortunate. The Good News Open, Friday, June 6th,
Huh.
1 o'clock tee time at the Winding River Golf Course. Good News Open. Great fun, greater cause. You can register online at goodnewsministries.com. Help the homeless today. Click on
Tied
the
at
yellow
27
registration
in the
button
second.
at goodnewsministries.com.
Hey gang, Garrison here. Did you realize how much money you've contributed to Social Security and Medicare? Between you and your employer, the number is 12.4% of every paycheck. Yep, 12.4%, dating all the way back to your very first job. The money you've paid into Social Security makes your 401k contributions look like chump change by comparison. Trust me, there's real money at stake here, but if you don't know exactly how and when to take your Social Security benefits, you could foolishly be leaving tens of thousands of dollars on the table. The only way to truly maximize your benefits is with the free report, the Social Security Decisions Guide.
All right.
Guardian Wells Financial, right here in Indianapolis.
Crazy
This report
day,
is
too.
packed full of little-known strategies on how to generate.
Give me a couple weeks.
$100,000 or more.
And
in lifetime
I
income.
swear I'm going to blow
Get
your
your
minds.
free report. Be one of the first 10
Like,
callers right
really?
now. Call 317.
Really interesting day.
0929. Get back every nickel that's rightfully yours. 317-660-0929 right now.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. One of the owners, Beth Robazzini, reminds us about the wear and tear our blower motors took last winter, especially if you have an older unit.
Our furnaces ran and ran and ran this winter, and the furnace doesn't know a calendar. It only knows runtime, and that was a 2-year winter.
B&W invites you to celebrate the indoors with Comfort Plus rebates this spring on American Standard air equipment. Get more information by calling B&W at 243-3581 or going to IndyHomeComfort.com.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been solving garage door problems for 33 years. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today. If you need reliable, high-quality video production, look no further than PrimeImageMedia.com. PrimeImageMedia.com provides promotional videos, training videos, and conference and event coverage nationwide. Get a high-quality, consistent look to your corporate videos with the most reliable video company in the country. Visit PrimeImageMedia.com today to learn more. Mention Tony Katz and get 10% off your first production. That's PrimeImageMedia.com. PrimeImageMedia.com.
Check out what's going on.
Election results coming in.
Be sure
So
to
much.
check out our contest page right now for your chance to win tickets
So
to the 500
much.
Festival Parade and
I mean,
Community
a lot
Day
are
at the Indianapolis
completely
Motor Speedway.
uncontested, but
And don't forget to join us at the track on Saturday, May 24th for Legends Day as the great Mario Andretti is honored. Contests, info, and more is just one click away at WIBC.com.
Grab more info online at WIBC.com. You're listening to Tony Katz Tonight. To talk to Tony, call 239-9393.
You are go.
Okay. George Clinton and the Parliament Funkadelic?
Yes.
Bravo, Ashley. You know what?
Thank you.
It's got to be a whole George Clinton night.
I can make that happen. for you.
Nothing but P-Funk all night. That's what's happening.
Sounds good to me.
My head is like in an awful, awful place. And not that I'm like, bothered or something, just a headache. I cannot shake it. And nothing will make it feel. Don't turn it off. Don't turn off the P-Funk.
It ended. It was a really short clip.
Oh, it's nonsense.
I'll find you more. I'll find you
P-Funk
more.
night here at Tony Katz tonight. Great to be with all of you. 317-239-9393. Toll free 800-571-9422. The chat room, Surly in the chat room said, so Tony, you knew what you didn't know. I was talking about knowing as a kid in junior high school and in high school that everybody who lived on my block was smarter than me. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. So I was a terrible student. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I was never dumb. That was not it. I was not dumb. I was not ignorant. I was not a fool. But I just had no interest. I had no interest whatsoever in what was going on in school. I had no interest in homework. Absolutely, positively none. And I got to high school. It's a true story. I don't think I've ever talked about this. I must have spoken about this once. I must have. I got to high school. And I had friends who were coming from junior high school to high school, and we didn't have any of the same classes. It's like, all right, we didn't get any of the same classes. And that first day, I looked around in my English class and my science class at the people who were in my class, and I said, oh, I have a problem. Because I knew without question that I was smarter than everybody in that room, everybody in that science class and everybody in that English class. I knew it. I was fully aware that this is not where I should be. There was nothing wrong with those people, but I knew I could do better. I knew it the second I was in the room. And I said to myself, now what do I have to do? And in English and in history, because I knew where my aptitudes were. So they did it then. This was New Jersey. So there was honors. I don't know if this happened to you, Ashley. I don't know what it was like. You went to school in Indiana, right?
Yes.
Okay. So there was honors, and then there was A level, and then there was B level, and then there was remedial level. I would have been such a bad student, cared so little in junior high school, that I was in that B level. And I said, there's absolutely no way. There's no way. I know I'm smarter than this. And I couldn't force them to move me because I knew I could do it. So by the time I was a junior, I was in A level for math and science, and I was in honors classes for English and I think history. Because I knew that I shouldn't be where I was. There was no question. that I was better than that. I made the determination that I was better than that. Now, the question I have for today's academic experts, am I wrong for thinking that way? Am I wrong for saying to myself, no, Tony, you can do better than this, for recognizing that I was better than the room? I think that's a hugely underrated thing, by the way. We're so desperate to be in a quality society that we don't want to recognize when we're better than the room. When I take a look at my radio career, I say to myself, there are plenty of smart radio hosts. I truly believe this. Oh my goodness, there are some great brains out there. And there are plenty of funny radio hosts. There are some people who make me laugh. I don't know if I'm smarter than anybody else. I don't know if I'm funnier than anybody else. What I do know is that I am completely willing to outwork everybody else. And I mean everybody else. When I decided to do this, and I have no background in radio, I didn't attend the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. I didn't go to school for broadcasting. If I sat behind the board that Ashley is at right now, where Paige usually sits Monday through Thursday, I would drool on it. That's like the best I could do to figure out what is basically happening with that board. But I did teach myself all the technical skills, taught myself to be able to take the show on the road and broadcast from anywhere. Why? Because I knew that part of what my job would be going to where things are happening and being able to broadcast back, whether that's a radio row at a convention or whether that's broadcasting from some kind of rally point somewhere. I would be the guy willing to get in the car and make that 7-hour drive. That's me. That's what I was willing to do. I was willing to say yes when everybody else would say, well, how much does it pay? I don't care what it pays. The answer is yes. Put me on the air. Let me show you what I can do. When you tell an entire group of middle school students who are honor students that they don't get the ceremony that the other honor students years ago have gotten, because it's insensitive to those kids who aren't honor students, what are you telling them? What are you saying to them? Where is the value that you're providing them? There's a part of me that hopes that these kids understand that ceremony or no ceremony, they know they're smart, they know they're capable, they know they're able, and they should continue to move down that path. That very often there will be people who refuse to give you credit for what is your brain. They will tell you that you got it from some ill-gotten matter. You know how many people tell me doing this show, like we'll have a Twitter argument or a Facebook argument, or I'll see them in real life. Oh, well, you already have a radio show. What do you know about working towards getting one? Oh, those people should be beaten with a 2x4. What do I know? One day I'll get into the stories of what it took to achieve this moment, never mind what's coming next. Much more ahead, including your phone calls. This is Tony Katz Tonight.
Springtime in Indy, and after a brutal winter, do what Patty did. Call Rhino Shield.
What motivated me to call was two projects that we had at our house. The summers would come and go, and I finally just said, got to get these two things painted. They look terrible, and it needs to be done. And that's how we got involved with Rhino Shield.
Rhino Shield's not paint, it's better.
Colors matched up very well with our house, and they were in and out, no mess. It all looks great. I was very pleased.
Central Indiana. Call Rhino Shield now and get 15% off the regular price. 15%.
Call Rhino Shield. The professional people that will come out and do the paintings done is well worth the investment.
And as Jim Williams, owner of Rhino Shield, says,
this offer's limited, so hurry. Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again.
They're going to be talking about McConnell Bevan until the cows come home.
To set in motion an annual tradition unlike any other.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Dude, we are light in the chat today. What's going down?
May 25th. Tickets start at only $40 at IMS.com. Last year's race was one of the most competitive ever, as the world's best drivers battled till the end. and this year promises to be just as thrilling.
Surly, I think when I mention you on the air, it is 3 drinks. If I mention your name from the chat room on air, the official Tony Katz Tonight drinking game, it is 3 drinks. I am pretty sure.
If you've been here, then you know. If you haven't, then you must. Because when it comes to legendary moments and
Best game ever.
last a lifetime, it all starts with 4 simple words. Gentlemen, the 98th running of the Verizon IndyCar Series.
I'm going to miss it.
Score is Miami 32, Indiana 29, with 4:54 left to play in the second.
They
And
got-
one
they-
guys in Miami has like the best 1991 fade flat top happening.
IPL employees.
Well, it's important to have a look.
Whether it's planning.
I was going to go with that look.
Really though?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I could pull off a fade. I could totally pull off a fade. Clearly.
It's like some kid and play hair.
Of course. No, really?
Well, not quite as tall.
The most important. IPL, a current flowing from the heart of Indianapolis.
Hey, it's Steve Simpson for LeafGuard of Indiana. You know, when I needed a gutter protection system, I chose LeafGuard of Indiana, the ultimate gutter protection system. Not just clog-free, but guaranteed clog-free. Now, LeafGuard doesn't go up under your shingles or attach to your roof like the other shutters, covers, and helmets out there. That means that LeafGuard does not nail to your roof decking. So
I have an eyelash in my eye and I can't get it out. Do you ever get those?
It's warranty. Now, right now,
Yes,
LeafGuard of
but I
Indiana
get
is
them
offering
out.
12 months interest-free and payments as low as $50. So if you have ever thought about calling LeafGuard, now
Well, it's not for lack of trying.
317-546-0600. Guaranteed never to clog. You get them and forget them. I have. Call before the offer is pulled. LeafGuard of Indiana, 317-546-0600, or you can find them at leafguardofindiana.com. Again, the number, 317-546-0600.
When it rains, it shines, and you're worry-free. A leaf guard gutter never.
Yeah, Surly, so it's not a caffeine thing. It just happens sometimes. And I feel it in my neck and all that. Just
Distinctive diamonds. They're showing them off everywhere. Facebook.
I don't know how to
Instagram,
explain that there's a
you
lot going on.
Because at Distinctive Diamonds, you can get it all.
And there's been a lot going on for a while. I look very much forward to being able to share some stuff with you guys, but it won't be until June.
Designer ring collection.
But I will.
Find that one-of-a-kind
And then you'll say,
Together, you get style and value. The look she wants, the value he wants, and the reaction
Trust me
they
on that
both
one.
want. Distinctive Diamonds, not a chain store. Indy's one-of-a-kind special place for diamonds and bridal jewelry. Locally owned, internationally connected. Come see why Distinctive Diamonds is year after year voted best place for rings and designer jewelry.
Hi, this is Chris from Distinctive Diamonds, where Indy gets engaged. Come see the best selection of hand-picked diamonds and wonderful designer engagement rings in Indiana. Don't settle for the chain store jewelry. Get her the best at Distinctive Diamonds, Keystone at the Crossing beside the Green Bridge.
Problem, you're sneezing, wheezing, it's dusty, yuck. Think you can have a clean, healthy home with a portable air purifier? You think wrong, my friend, because that only solves the problems in one room. With an Aprilaire air cleaner, you'll capture teensy tiny particles in every room of your home. Your heating and cooling specialist installs it and it's clean, it's healthy. Enjoy whole home air quality solutions only with Aprilaire.
Go to aprilaire.com to find a local indoor air quality specialist. Aprilaire, feel good inside.
If you need reliable, high-quality video production,
I have to shuffle windows around to get that darn prime image spot to play.
PrimeImageMedia.com provides promotional videos, training videos, and conference and event coverage nationwide. Get a high-quality, consistent look to your corporate videos with the most reliable video company in the country. Visit PrimeImageMedia.com today to learn more. Mention Tony Katz and get 10% off your first production. That's PrimeImageMedia.com. PrimeImageMedia.com.
Hundreds of thousands of Hoosiers have asthma. If you suffer from asthma or know someone that does,
stand by.
Treatment at Breathe.
Standing by.
To Tony Katz tonight. To talk to Tony, call 239-9393.
You are go.
All right. P-Funk night at Tony Katz tonight. Get your favorite shades, dye your hair all sorts of colors, and get your freak on. It's a full night of P-Funk. Downtown Indy there on Twitter. You must do 10 radio shows a day. Those days when I turn on WIBC morning, noon, and night. It's Tony Katz every time. Cool. First of all, wouldn't that be great? 24/7. Just change WIBC to KATZ. Well, first we have to move it on the other side of the Mississippi, and then we could do it. We could put that together. I will say this programming note. I am in. So it's a weird thing. I'm in town on the 1st of June. So if the series with the Pacers and the Heat goes to Game 7, I'm going to Game 7. I don't know how I'm getting in. Someone has to get me a ticket. Just putting that out there. That's number one. And then I'm there for a day, and then I'm in Wisconsin for a few days to do some speaking, and then I'm back, and then I'm home, and then I think I'm in LA for a while. So home, but that could all change. We'll get into that another time. But yes, but when I'm there, but that week that I'm in Wisconsin, I'm also filling in for Garrison. So I like 2 days. I think it's like the 3rd and the 4th, or the 4th and the 5th. The 4th and the 5th? The 4th and the 5th. I'm in for Garrison. So there'll be a lot of me. There'll be a tremendous amount of me. You're welcome, America. We'll have some election results for you, primaries all across the country. I'm tired of the fearmongers. I'm sick of the fearmongers. I don't want to hear from the fearmongers, and the fearmongers are everyone who has some money to make. I am okay with people making a living. I am not okay with people who want to make a living by telling me I have to change everything about my life. Do you understand? If you have a product or service for me that can benefit my life, I'm all in. If you want to engage some kind of social conditioning that will give me less enjoyment of my life, I say go away. It's an article out of Denver that has the headline. By the way, it's all headlines. Everything. BuzzFeed has changed the world. Everything. The only thing that matters is a good headline. Nothing else. It's a headline, and then it's a list of crazy stuff. I'm writing some good stuff on stuff. That's not the point of the story. Here's the headline. Getting ahead of myself. Is your handshake as dangerous as smoking? This is a real headline. If infectious disease experts from UCLA have their way, the handshake may go the way of leeches and bloodletting, replaced by a long-distance wave or salute. A commentary in the Journal of the American Medical Association says it's time to say goodbye to the handshake greeting in a healthcare setting. Or for that measure, goodbye to the goodbye handshake as well. Sure, a firm handshake can be seen as a sign of greeting and compassion, but it's also believed to be one of the easiest methods to transmit germs. We actually believe this for a long time, but perhaps there is new urgency in the mysterious world of diseases like MERS. So the recommendation is to treat handshakes like smoking. In other words, since there are a lot of places that simply have smoke-free zones, it seems like a good idea to have handshake-free zones. I am going to start drinking here on the program right now. And when I get to the point where I sound like Lindsay Lohan, Ashley will take over. There are two parts to this that are remarkably sickening. The first is the comparison to smoking. I make no bones about it. I smoke cigars. There are times that I go weeks at a time without one. I'm busy. I'm working on things. It's just not going to happen because I don't want to rush a cigar. My headache was bothering me so much today, I actually pulled out a cigar, wondering if that would help. Did not. I want to be able to enjoy it. I want to be able to relax with it. And when I can't, I don't. So I go sometimes weeks at a time. I've gone months at a time without a cigar before. The constant attack on smoking, which for a cigar smoker, they're talking about cigarettes, but cigars get lumped in. We have an entire problem with the FDA right now on this subject, where cigars are getting attacked. I believe there's a whole public comment period right now going on regarding what's going on with cigars. I should have one of those guys on tomorrow, remind me. It's not the same thing. A cigarette is not a cigar. A cigarette is a mass-produced product that has absolutely no value to the end recipient whatsoever, except somebody may like smoking. The cigar, however, is a work of art that employs tens of thousands of people around the world, is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and without it, many third-world nations would go completely under. People would starve and die. So not only is it art, not only is it an unbelievable expression of craftsmanship, it does a tremendous amount of good in the concept of world trade. I like that idea. I like the whole trifecta there. You mean I can enjoy it and it's good for lots of people? Okay, count me in. So I hate it when people want to compare things to smoking as if smoking is evil. No, I think it depends on what you're smoking. And are we talking about secondhand tobacco smoke, or are we talking about secondhand pot smoke? Because clearly smoking pot is pretty okay. I mean, we're passing laws to say that's all right. I think one of the great lines, Jay Leno had one of the great lines. When I started the Tonight Show, you could smoke a cigarette, but you couldn't smoke pot. Now, you see, it's just the opposite. So that's number one. Number two, if you can say the word handshake-free zone and not laugh, you're the problem in America. The handshake is not about compassion. I don't know. How do you get to the place where the handshake is about compassion? The handshake, as I know it, was about being able to show the person you're speaking with that you have nothing to hide. It's your way of saying, I come in peace. No weapon in my hand, nothing else. When dealers in Vegas leave the table, what do? The chat room knows this over there at TonyKatz.com. What do? They clap their hands and they put their palms out. They don't have a card. They don't have an extra pair of dice. They didn't pocket any money or palm any money. They're out. They're clean. And they show you both sides. Shaking hands is an incredibly important function. It is a cultural cue that has been passed down throughout millennia, throughout generations, I should say. If I don't say millennia. And we're going to get rid of it because it's just as bad or as dangerous as smoking? First of all, depends on what you're smoking. And secondly, stop scaring everybody to death. Have we gotten to the point that what we're really telling people is stay in your own house, don't say hello to anybody, don't get too close to anybody? We're really getting to the point where all of those science fiction movies of those dystopian futures are happening upon us. No more sex for people to procreate. We're just going to put things in tubes because, after all, it's cleaner. We'll strain them a few times as well, that the mixture that we put in the tube. That way we won't have any defects being put into society. You know, defects like fat people. Well, I mean, what did you think it was going to be? Where do you think these things go? Shake hands. Wash your hands at the end of the day. Wash them before you eat. I think that's a smart move. They've only been talking about that for 100 years. Shake-free zones, handshake-free zones. I don't want to live in that so-called utopia. More ahead. This is Tony Katz Tonight.
If you're dreaming about a new home, there are a couple of things you should know. First, it's a competitive market. Someone else wants your dream home too. So you need to be pre-approved for a mortgage before you shop. Second, if you have not so great credit or no down payment and think you can't buy a home, think again and call First Option Mortgage today. Our pre-approval is free. And unlike banks, we have access to multiple lending sources, saving you time and money. Great credit or not so great. Call First Option. Looking for first-time home buyer or zero-down programs? Call First Option. And if you're looking for a great realtor, First Option has a list of pre-screened realtors as resourceful as we are. First Option Mortgage, 317-713-9500. 713-9500.
First Option Mortgage.
That's funny, Randy. Hey, there's always exceptions to the rule, son.
713-9500.
Dave, when you started in the heating and air business 36 years ago, did you ever think you would be able to control your thermostat with your phone?
No, not really. Back then, the only phone I had was attached to my wall. But today's technology is changing quickly, and things you can do with your phone and American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning AccuLink thermostat together with the Nexia Home Intelligence is amazing.
All you need is broadband internet connection and a compatible cell phone, and you can start adjusting the temperature in your house, adding door locks, lamps, and cameras.
Home automation with Nexia Home Intelligence for as little as $9.95 per month. Call us today to see how you can make your home smarter, safer, and more comfortable for less than you can imagine. We want to be your plumbing, heating, and air conditioning provider.
It's our goal to provide superior products and unparalleled service to the people of Central Indiana.
Call us today at 243-3581.
B&W Plumbing and Heating, the professionals in the big black trucks.
Still family owned and operated for over 50 years. 243-3581.
No overtime Monday through Saturday, 7 to 7.
Men, have you ever been embarrassed when the time was right, but you just couldn't perform? Now you can. The secret is in one visit to Total Performance Medical Center. Over 4,000 men over the last 5 years, ages 21 to 85, are performing better than ever before, regardless of medical conditions. You get to try the medication containing FDA-approved ingredients right at the medical center. The medication gives you from 45 to 2 hours of full, long-lasting performance.
Right. Okay, Chow, I think that is the movie as well. Zombies the Beginning.
Cost for doctor visit. All tests, including PSA and testosterone, are at a special rate.
And I think it is French. We have to find it.
Or just want to perform much better. Call 866-707.
I don't know if you know this, Ashley. Paige was in a zombie movie.
707-1163. At Total Performance, they perform before you pay.
Zombie
Get your confidence
movie.
back and absolutely no more erectile dysfunction. 866-707-1163. Call 866-707-1163 now.
On the phone.
Just local independent American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning dealer, B&W Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Owner Dave Magine says a quality tune-up should include checking the cooling coil inside your ductwork at your furnace.
As the air is going through that coil, it condensates. And if your filter is not catching all the dirt, over time, it'll start turning into a mud-type substance, and it'll eventually plug up your airflow.
B&W invites you to celebrate the indoors with Comfort Plus rebates this spring on American Standard air equipment. Get more information by calling B&W at 243-3581 or going to IndyHomeComfort.com.
Sis? Yeah, Dad is showing signs of Alzheimer's. Doctors say...
Until there's a cure for Alzheimer's disease, it's comforting to know there's a place like Augusta's Cottage at American Senior Communities, where quality of life is the primary goal, and the focus is on maintaining a secure, home-like environment where residents have a sense of belonging.
They make this place sound so exciting when really, Alzheimer's is a slow decline into a vegetative state and then you die. So it's really not that exciting.
Wow.
Communities, visit ASCC.
Wow.
My mother's mother had Alzheimer's, and that's what it was like.
I didn't say it was enjoyable. I'm just saying, wow.
They're making it sound like there's like unicorns and butterflies.
I don't think that's what they mean to do.
Watering products by Ray Padula.
I'll have to listen to the ad again.
30 seconds.
Plus, it applies water more evenly than standard models. On sale now, the Ray Padula 9-pattern sprinkler is just $14.99. Your lawn and garden savings place. Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Riverview Hospital is now Riverview
10 seconds.
Look for it in Noblesville, Carmel, Cicero, Fishers, Sheridan, Tipton, and Westfield. To learn more, visit riverview.org.
To talk to Tony Katz, call 800-571-9422 or 239-9393. This is Tony Katz Tonight.
Well, all right.
You are go.
Gotcha. Citizens of the universe, recording.
There it is.
We have returned to claim the
P-Funk Night. Tony Katz tonight, 317-239-9393. So there are primaries going on all across the country. Ben Dominic. I think it's Dominic. I always get it wrong. I used to get it right. Now I've got it wrong again. And we have smoked many a cigar together. Ben Dominic Heartland will be with us in a little bit. We're going to be talking about what's going on with Healthy Indiana. and this Medicaid expansion, or is it Medicaid expansion that Governor Pence is after? We're going to be discussing that, and also we'll be doing a little bit on these primaries. The big one, of course, is in Kentucky, where Mitch McConnell has bested Matt Bevin, the Tea Party candidate. McConnell taking 60% of the vote, Bevin 35.7%, so basically a 2-to-1 margin. Taking a 2-to-1 margin, the establishment over the Tea Party. And when you take a look at some of the articles that are already out there, this one from thehill.com, McConnell crushes Tea Party. Certainly, when you lose 2-to-1, you can say that. Bevin, clearly a Tea Party-backed candidate from groups like Freedom Works and others. No question about it. There is a joy that is received from the establishment, Republicans, when they beat Tea Party candidates. They like the crushing. Don't get me wrong. They liked the sweep into victory in 2010, and now they absolutely, positively despise the Tea Party. And certainly what they despise is anybody questioning their power status. That's what they hate. They cannot stand being challenged. We know people like this. And it's why very often when many of us get into the whole Republican versus Democrat, conservative versus liberal nonsense, always remember it is the people versus the elitists. In the end, that usually is the place we're talking about. That's the place we're going. Mitch McConnell doesn't do anything for me. I don't think he brings a specific value to the conversation, and I don't mind that he got a primary challenge. I would not have minded. It would not have bothered me if he had lost. He didn't lose. It's very difficult to beat an incumbent. It is. It's very difficult to beat an incumbent. It's certainly difficult to beat an incumbent who gets to be on TV much more often and who is better funded. Now, Bevin's got some money, and Bevin got help from a whole host of other people. Bevin made his own mistakes and wasn't the incumbent. Okay. But the question that people are going to ask, and people invariably get to at these moments, is, number one, they'll say, is the Tea Party dead? Well, they'll certainly hope that the Tea Party is dead. And then they'll get to the second conversation, which is, has the Tea Party helped or hurt in these situations? I want to state clearly that there is no doubt that the Tea Party has helped in every single election, up and down the line. Whether they have won or not being completely inconsequential to whether or not they have been of service, whether or not they have helped. The answer is, of course. Of course. Does it mean that the incumbent or the establishment type has to spend a little bit more money and has to raise a little bit more money? Yeah, that's definitely what it means. Is that a problem? No. Who told them that they get this position forever? They should be challenged. They should be forced to account. They should have to answer questions. Why would you want it any other way? It's absurd to me. That's an absurd way of looking at the world. Not winning happens. It's the issue is when we don't fight. Whoever it is. If there's someone out there you think is doing such a bad job, such a poor job, such a lousy job, that they need to be challenged, go out there and challenge them. Oh, you're not allowed to challenge them? They're, of course, the congressman of this area or the senator of this area, of this state? Says who? There are no rules that say for life. That doesn't come with the deal. And when these people have to answer, have to engage debate, have to figure out how they're going to sell themselves again, I believe it's better for everybody. It makes them stronger. If for no other reason If it doesn't make them stronger, the people can really see, oh, that's what they were all talking about with that other guy. Oh, I'll remember that next time around. You start building a momentum. That's the other part that's so very important. There will be elections that get lost. It helps you build for the next one, and for the next one, and for the next one. It is a concept and a conversation of vigilance, which I think what the establishment is hoping is that will die off, right? That will come to an end, and they won't be vigilant. They won't be around anymore. They'll dissipate. They'll disappear, and they'll just fall back in line to voting for Republicans exactly the way they should, and we'll pat them on the head. I don't think the world's gone back to that. I don't think America's going back to that, and I don't think these activated Americans are going back to that. And they shouldn't. You know, the expression from, I want to say it's Jefferson, if I am wrong in who I'm quoting here, about the Tree of Liberty. The Tree of Liberty, they usually use the expression, needs to be watered from time to time with the blood of tyrants. But the line, as I know it is, it needs to be watered, the Tree of Liberty needs to be watered with the blood of tyrants and patriots. You got to be willing to sacrifice. You got to be willing to put something out there. Well, these guys who run, who good, well-intentioned, mean well, and sometimes they don't win, that's what I think it is. It's just a little bit more, and a little bit more, and the tree grows, and the tree flowers, and pretty soon, your tree is the one doing all the winning. We've got much more ahead, including Ben Dominic. Keep it here. This is Tony Katz Tonight.
Did you know the owners of
Yeah, back,
Distinctive
guys.
Diamonds will look at over 100 diamonds and pick only about 5 of them to sell here in Indy? That's how picky we are. Only the best diamonds, carefully chosen from the best diamond cutters overseas, hand-picked for maximum brilliance and maximum value. You know what happens to the diamonds we reject? Many of them end up being sold online, or in the hands of middleman brokers, or in the showcases of those mega corporate chain stores. Yeah, don't compromise. Be assured of the best quality and the most dazzling diamonds at Distinctive Diamonds. Distinctive Diamonds, where Indy gets engaged. With the best selection of diamonds, the most gorgeous designer rings, the guaranteed best value, and free service for life. Voted best jewelry store in Indy for rings and designer jewelry year after year.
Hi, this is Chris from Distinctive Diamonds, celebrating 11 years as the undisputed value leader when it comes to diamonds here in Indy. Come see the state's best selection of hand-picked, dazzling diamonds at true direct importer prices. Distinctive Diamonds, Keystone at the Crossing.
Hi, I'm Jeff. I've worked at Renewal by Anderson for 8 years, and I love my job. I'm one of the professional installers who will come to your home with your new windows. You can be sure that I'll arrive on time and install your new windows or patio doors the way that I would expect.
Tony, is there a number for the person that you'd like me to call?
Affordable and really stand the test of time. But my customers just say, wow, they're beautiful.
Right now, save $225 on every window. Or no money down, no interest, no payments till November 2015.
So if you need new windows, give us a call. 844-480-4800. That's 844-480-4800.
For beautiful windows, second to none, call Renewal by Anderson. We put the wow in windows.
Renewal by Anderson, 844-480-4800. And tell them Jeff sent you.
Indianapolis, go to meridianmortgagesolutions.net, where we have rates starting in the 2s, no out-of-pocket closing cost programs, and no payments until summer. We do all this and give you the flexibility to get cash out, shorten your term, or even pay off high-interest credit card debt. Perfect credit or less than perfect credit, call now, 317-968-9500, or apply online at meridianmortgagesolutions.net.
All loans and rates are subject to credit approval. Programs and rates are subject to change. Additional terms and conditions apply. Equal housing lender. See letter for restrictions and details. NMLS number 2975.
From the Plumbing, Heating, Paramedic Studios,
This is Central Indiana's news, weather, and traffic station.
93 WIBC, Indianapolis.
Fox News Ready to Go, I'm Pam Puso. It's the run-up to the midterms, and it's been a busy primary night in half a dozen states. With a rundown of election results, Fox News Ready to Go's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Pam, Georgia Governor Nathan Deal wins the Republican nomination, allowing him to run for re-election against former President Jimmy Carter's grandson, State Senator Jason Carter. Also in Georgia, Michelle Nunn takes a Democratic Senate primary and will face one of 7 Republican candidates after a probable runoff this summer. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell wins the GOP primary in Kentucky, setting up a match with Secretary of State Allison Grimes this fall. And in Pennsylvania, Democrats picked millionaire Tom Wolf to take on Republican Governor Tom Corbett. Pam.
Thanks, Rachel. A secret of the Obama administration is about to go public. A memo outlining the legal justification for U.S. drone strikes on Americans overseas could soon be released. This as lawmakers on both sides of the aisle come together before moving forward on the president's nomination of David Barron to the federal bench.
Barron wrote at least 2 of those memos, which laid out the legal justification for the targeted killing of an American citizen, the New Mexico-born cleric Anwar al-Awlaki, who was a senior al-Qaeda operative in Yemen and killed by the CIA in 2011. The Justice Department, Fox News is told, has decided not to appeal a court order that called on the administration to release a redacted version of the memo.
Fox's Catherine Herridge in Washington. The ACLU and the New York Times had sued for the memo's release. As rival militias battle it out in Libya, the Pentagon could decide to pull American diplomatic personnel out of the country.
We're still gathering information on what is a very fluid situation, and we're focused on helping to resolve the differences.
State Department spokeswoman Jen Psaki, 250 Marines are at the ready in Italy in the event evacuations are ordered. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
They all should be embarrassed. It's a real mess. What in the world was our government thinking? The news is breaking every keeping a close eye on what's going on. Explosive story. There was a lockdown, and a horror broke loose. We are live.
Are these displaced people?
A desperate situation. What are we going to tell the American people? What's going to happen? Yeah. It sounds like war is inevitable.
Israelis want peace desperately.
Greta Van Susteren on the ground, chasing the real story and getting the truth. Nothing gets by Greta.
On the record, weeknights at 7 on the Fox News channel.
Weeknights on Fox Business. They don't follow party lines. They don't accept the status quo. They don't do boring television. They're the independents, breaking through the clutter with a different point of view on the day's news. From politics to pop culture, social issues to international affairs, they're calling it like it is.
Cut the nonsense.
Kennedy, Matt Welch, and Camille Foster are the Independents. Weeknights at 9, only on Fox Business.
I'm Alex Brown in the 93 WIBC 24-hour news center. It was a disappointing day Tuesday for Rafael A. Sanchez, secretary of the Indianapolis 2018 Super Bowl committee. The NFL awarded the bid to Minnesota.
We put in a lot of time and effort and our hearts into it, and we thought we had the best bid. You know, it was a very, as far as we know, 3 compelling bids, and never say never. But obviously we have to regroup and see what we do next.
The NFL owners may have been swayed by this. Minnesota is building a new stadium, just as Indianapolis did before winning the bid for Super Bowl 46 in 2012. Indy was third in the vote behind Minneapolis and New Orleans. State police have issued a silver alert in Lawrence, where an 87-year-old man has been missing since early Tuesday morning and is believed to be in danger. Theodore Johnson is described as black, about 5'8", and 165 pounds. Those pesky emerald ash borers are attacking the ash trees around Victory Field.
Department of Natural Resources state entomologist Phil Marshall says most of the ash trees around Victory Field are heavily infested and dying. The Chinese insects are eating their way through dozens of trees, making them unstable.
They're on their way down, and really for what they need to do here is to take those trees out and replace them, because they're never going to have the form and the shape that was there a few years ago. The borer has taken that away from them.
Marshall says most of the trees found in Indiana housing subdivisions built in the last 20 years are almost all ash trees, so residents should be on watch. Mike Corbin, 93 WIBC News.
You're up to date. Get local news on demand at WIBC.com. Now here's the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Tonight, mostly cloudy.
All right, what do we got?
20% chance of thunderstorms overnight.
Scattered
thunderstorms.
I'm trying to figure out how to make our long distance thing dial, and it's yelling at me.
3 as we get to Thursday.
Well, I don't want to hear
I'm
that.
RTV6 meteorologist Kevin Gregory.
Neither do I.
Call him on a cell
What's on sale
phone
from
and then have him
Unique
call
Home
in.
Solutions in May?
Triple pane windows
I'm sorry.
and gutters.
I'm sorry. What?
Call him on a
That's
cell
not all.
phone and then
What
have
else do
him
you
dial
think's
in.
on sale in May?
How about solid core
Will do.
Statement siding and 50-year roofs?
Right again. But that's still not everything.
Sounds like it's easier to say what Unique doesn't have on sale in May.
Everything Unique sells is on sale in May for 25% off. It's Unique's annual spring whole house sale,
Including my favorite kitchen and bath makeovers.
including kitchen and bath makeovers too. And the 25% off includes labor.
Am I also right that you have free handyman service just for looking?
Right again. So take advantage of the whole house sale and call Unique.
Unique Home Solutions, 1-800-800-1971.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tony Katz Tonight.
You are go.
So I've been trying to understand the whole Healthy Indiana plan. Because as I knew it, while I may not have agreed with the idea of Healthy Indiana, the total concept of how this healthcare was provided, I could at least say there's something interesting here that might be worth a conversation, But now I have Governor Pence, great state of Indiana, pushing forward Healthy Indiana 2, or is it HIP 2.0, which, based on everything I have read, every last little bit of it, is nothing more than Medicaid expansion. So we've gone from a policy, an idea, at least this is the way it's playing out. It's not the way it's being sold, of course, by Governor Pence, who was just in Washington, D.C. He's doing a dog and pony on it. And I'm not specifically an anti-Pence guy. I don't have a specific problem with him yet. I have issues in where I disagree with him. I don't have a specific problem yet. What I need to find out is, should I? Joining me to help figure that out right now from the Heartland Institute and the author of the Transom you can get delivered every single morning to your inbox for $20 a year. He is Ben Dominic. Ben, great to have you on the program, my friend. Ben.
I have him and I can hear him, but I can't get him to come to the board.
Well, then how in the world do I talk to him?
I'm working.
I will let you work on it. I will continue the conversation, Ashley. Trust me, he's a genius. I am trying to make a determination with this Healthy Indiana 2.0 that's being called, whether or not this makes sense, this has a value. Because what I'm seeing is that we are, in Indiana, providing a bunch more services for far less money in order to get federal money, but it won't be enough. So we're going to be putting the taxpayer of Indiana on the hook. And not only are we going to be putting them on the hook for the people, because we're talking about Medicaid here, the people who can't afford it to begin with, we're raising the percentage by which you can get it. It used to be, under the original plan, 100% of the federal poverty level. Okay. Now, 138% of the federal poverty level. So we've increased the number of people who can be on it. And then we've, in a secondary situation, we have allowed people to drop their plans like they have done with Obamacare and use this to supplement. Ben, great to have you with us. Tell me that I'm seeing things.
With you, Tony.
It's a pleasure, man. Tell me I'm seeing things regarding Healthy Indiana when I say that it's clearly Medicaid expansion and not something else.
You know, the thing that
who should understand about what's going on here is that Mike Pence is kind of in a bind. He inherited the original Healthy Indiana plan from Mitch Daniels, which was a relatively small plan. It was originally designed for state employees primarily, and that's really the way that the focus kind of shifted in terms of trying to get people to take up HSAs. The problem is that now he's in a situation where the waiver on that plan was running out, and he needed to go to the Obama administration to get it renewed. In the course of this negotiation, he was really between a rock and a hard place because he felt like, well, I don't want to get people kicked off this current plan that they like, but the Obama administration really wants me to expand Medicaid. Now, if I were Mike Pence, I probably would have said, okay, Mr. Lie of the Year, I'm calling your bluff. You want to come out here and take away this plan from, roughly 60,000 Indiana people who like it, go ahead and try. I think something like that actually would have gotten a lot of political pressure on the administration to reconsider the existing Healthy Indiana plan as such and try to extend that waiver. Instead, he tried to negotiate with the administration. He's been trying for over a year, and this plan that he's rolled out actually hasn't even been approved yet by the administration. It still has to be. But I think that what you see in it is someone who has fallen into the trap of everybody who tries to negotiate with the Obama administration, which is at the end of the day,
an impossible task.
Something that looks a lot more like Obamacare. Exactly.
Right.
And I think that's really a mistake.
You mentioned that it looks like Obamacare, and I've got one of the articles from Forbes, a couple people with some brains in their heads from the Foundation for Government Accountability saying it's of course Medicaid expansion. You're saying that you're talking about this rock and this hard place. The expansion that we're seeing, how does a guy like Pence, who has spent time in the House, in the United States House of Representatives, not see this as Medicaid expansion, but try and figure out how he's going to sell it when it clearly goes against, I would say, not being an expert yet on Indiana politics, some of the values and philosophies he had in the House or that he even ran for governor on?
Personnel is policy. And I would say that a lot of the people who worked for Mike Pence when he was on Capitol Hill are now working for other, leading figures in the conservative movement on the House side or the Tea Party movement on the Senate side. I think that Mike Pence's staff in Indiana looks a lot more like a typical sort of governor's level staff, where he inherited some people from Mitch Daniels, inherited others from elsewhere. It's a much less conservative staff than what he had up here. And I think, frankly, he's getting combated by...
You are not the first person to say that, man. I hear that from people in Indiana up and down the state, that there is an issue there with who he's surrounded by.
I think that the unfortunate situation he's in now, though, is that he's trying to brand this expansion as being something that it isn't. I mean, for instance, when he was speaking at the American Enterprise Institute the other day in defense of his plan, he said repeatedly that this was for working Indianans. But if you were a full-time worker making minimum wage, you actually make a good deal more than what would be qualified for the HIP basic plan. You would just come in under the 138% federal poverty limit. But think about what that does. If you're making $15,500 a year and you lose access to this coverage, if you make $16,000 a year, it's a disincentive for success, the kind of thing that Pence has railed against in the past, that other people have criticized in the past. And yet it's something that they're about to really try to push forward in Indiana. So I think this is a good example of someone who is trying to make something work and is ending up in a trap where he's going to be effectively implementing Obamacare at the state level and creating a new entitlement, not for people who actually need it, not for the truly disabled, but for able-bodied, childless adults. And I asked Pence point blank to his face, do you really think the government needs to be in the business of taking taxpayer dollars from people in other states, other hardworking taxpayers, and using it to pay for a new entitlement for able-bodied, childless adults? Do you think that's a conservative idea? And his answer was, if it wasn't a conservative idea, then I wouldn't have proposed it.
And that's where it goes totally off the rails, Ben. We're talking with Ben Dominic of the Transom, transom.org, and the Heartland Institute. That's exactly it. When you talk about this HIP 2, Healthy Indiana Plan 2.0, and you realize that it's not just people who have families, not just people who are struggling, but it allows people basically an easy way to get insurance for quite literally, there are cases where it's like $3 a month. That's all it's going to cost you. And when he looked at you eye to eye and said if it wasn't conservative, he wouldn't do it. Who's buying?
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is the other thing that we need to consider. Pence is someone who a lot of people had hopes about for 2016. Think about the experience that we just went through with Mitt Romney just a few years ago of being basically nominating the only guy in the country who couldn't run against Obamacare, who was hamstrung by what he had done in his own state.
Right.
Isn't Mike Pence now essentially in the same position?
Mike Pence has a whole problem vis-a-vis Common Core.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, a disaster.
Disaster of what we're sort of seeing here is a guy, and he's not a Chris Christie, he's not a John Kasich, he's not somebody who's been sort of an anti-Tea Party person or an anti-fiscal conservatism person. He was a true fiscal conservative in the Congress, but I think he's just made a huge mistake here.
Well, I've got a minute, and Ashley, we're going to go long. Don't worry about it. You've been monitoring the election results. I think you actually spent some time, and God bless you, we've both done our time on MSNBC going over some of these election results. Mitch McConnell, basically a 2-to-1 margin over Bevin. How would you explain that victory? What does it say to the establishment? What does it say to the Tea Party? What does it say going forward?
Well, Mitch McConnell spent, I think more than $12 million or something along those lines in this primary. If you ever want to beat somebody who has the power of incumbency and the power of money, you basically have to run a perfect campaign. And I think that that's something that's very difficult to do. But I do think that what you see in McConnell right now is a guy who let's be honest about why he's winning re-election. I mean, or he's winning the nomination again tonight. It's because he spent a ton of money, and it's because Rand Paul decided to make peace with him. And I think that that's something that really shows and reflects that the power is not really behind where Mitch McConnell is and where his K Street priorities are. It's elsewhere. And so McConnell has gotten to where he is by catering to the base, by talking about how terrible Obama's agenda is, by railing against Obamacare, and by generally making peace with a lot of the people who behind closed doors, he talks about wanting to crush. So I think that just reflects the power of the Tea Party message in the absence of his own. The one thing that I'm concerned about, and I don't know if you share this view, the one thing I'm concerned about is that in an election year when Republicans generally and when conservatives in some key states probably should be picking up a lot of seats, McConnell is going to be sucking up a lot of dollars that could go to other races. He's very unpopular in the state of Kentucky. He's got a not inconsequential challenger
in Allison Grimes, yeah.
And I think that this definitely could be a race that is extremely expensive. And because of that, let's just put it this way: I would hate to see Republicans lose, in a winnable race. Even in a place where it's a guy like Tom Tillis in North Carolina or something like that, or in Georgia to Michelle Nunn, where you may not have a perfect candidate on the other side either, or a true conservative in terms of the nominee. You would hate to see other seats go down because Mitch McConnell needs defending. A guy who's going to be able to suck up that money for his own defense.
And that's going to be a conversation of where establishment folks want to put their dollars. And then again, I keep hearing about establishment folks wanting to put their dollars behind Jeb Bush in 2016, so I don't often know where their heads are anyway. That's another conversation for another day. I'm happy to have it with you. Ben Dominic, thetransom.org and Heartland Institute. Always a pleasure, my friend.
Great to be with you, and thanks again.
Absolutely. More ahead. This is Tony Katz Tonight.
Wow, this is Dick Crum, Dr.
I'll go ahead and say goodnight to Ben and thank him for his time, unless you want to bring him back.
No.
Company I recommend.
Okay.
All-Star Roof Siding and more at 317-522-6409. I didn't think I had hail damage, but Tom Myers, All-Star owner, came out, met my insurance adjuster, worked with my company's pricing, and now I have a new roof, gutters, gutter covers, siding, and they even fixed my interior. All-Star is family-owned and BBB complaint-free.
Thanks, Dick. This is Tom Myers, owner of All-Star Roof Siding and More, and I'm a retired insurance agent with over 16 years experience in hail damage claims. Your house is too valuable to use just any company. Just ask Dr. Dirt.
Thank you, Tom. All Star did a great job on my house. Call the expert at All Star Roof Siding and More at 317-522-6409. That's 317-522-6409. Keep that number handy for future storms.
If you hunt, fish, camp, or do just about anything in the outdoors, there's another great new place in Indy for you. Because in addition to our stores in Avon, Castleton, and Greenwood, we now have an all-new Gander Mountain Outdoor Superstore in Greenfield. Inside, you'll find everything you need for whatever you do outside, including Indiana's largest selection of new and used firearms, hundreds of fishing rods, a full line of men's and women's outdoor performance apparel and footwear, plus the very best in outdoor technology and camping gear. And the Gander Mountain in Greenfield has all the brands you know and trust, like Under Armour, Columbia, Remington, Shimano, and many more. You can always count on Gander Mountain for great brands, the best prices, and outdoor specialists to answer your questions and give you great one-on-one service. The all-new Gander Mountain, now open in Greenfield at I-70 and exit 104. It's not just a new store, it's a whole new kind of outdoor store experience. Gander Mountain. We live outdoors.
Springtime in Indy, and after a brutal winter, listen to your neighbor Doug about Rhino Shield.
Having to walk home is fairly high maintenance, and it was getting to be a lot of work for me to coat it and seal it every 4 or 5 years and so forth. I'm getting to a point where I don't want to be climbing all over that thing. I did that when I was younger. I'm not that anxious to do that anymore.
It's Rhino Shield. It's not paint.
I decided it was the right product. My wife is real happy with it. The outside now looks good, and she's proud when people come now. It just looks better.
Central Indiana, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
I was real pleased with those guys. They would start at daylight in the morning and work till dark. When they came to do it, they came to get her done.
Here's owner Jim Williams of Rhino Shield.
This offer's limited, so hurry. Call me at 888-RHINO-41.
All right.
That's 888-RHINO-41.
I think it was good value and couldn't be more pleased.
Yeah, Dominic is really, really good. I think that one of the biggest problems
Again, Greg Garrison here for Tom
that I
Ross
think
Lincoln.
exists
I've been driving Tom
is
Ross
that I don't
for
think people
6 years.
utilize
You
him
don't
properly in
have
an interview.
accidents. Ouch. I've loved every minute of it. Lincoln Motor Company continues to produce a great product that is a pleasure to drive. Tom and Jeff are some great guys.
Let him
Every
be
day. They also have some
whip smart. Let him
see the lineup of Lincoln luxury vehicles.
go to town and then find the way to properly challenge the assertion without
corner of 169th and US 31 North.
without fighting him on it.
Those high prices.
I think that too many people want the cut and dry version of him. No interest
because
here.
I don't want surgery. So I told Mom about the physical therapist at the Shelbourne Knee Center. Oh, she was right.
And I think he brought up a very legitimate concern.
Doctors Shelbourne and Benner know from experience when
Very
therapeutic
legitimate
options
concern.
can be more successful than surgery. Find out more at fixedknee.com or call 888-FIXED-KNEE in collaboration with Indiana University Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. The Shelbourne Knee Center. One focus, proven results.
If you need reliable, high-quality video production, look no further than PrimeImageMedia.com. PrimeImageMedia.com provides promotional videos, training videos, and conference and event coverage nationwide. Get a high-quality, consistent look to your corporate videos with the most reliable video company in the country. Visit PrimeImageMedia.com today to learn more. Mention Tony Katz and get 10% off your first production. That's PrimeImageMedia.com.
PrimeImageMedia.com.
Tim Shooting Academy in Westfield, open daily to the public with 15 lanes, state-of-the-art ventilation. And
No. We will be out at 29, Ashley. Don't worry about it.
I'm Gary Dick. Inside Indiana Business Radio provides the breaking news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:40 a.m. and 5:35 p.m. on WIBC.
To talk to Tony Katz, call 800-571-9422 or 239-9393. This is Tony Katz Tonight.
So I can't get around it.
You are go.
P-Funk Night. P-Funk Night at Tony Katz Tonight. My thanks to Ben Dominic, thetransom.org. Unbelievable. If you don't get it. Unbelievable. I once thought about doing a daily newsletter and then realized no, I not for me. Thank you so much. But it is fantastic, and I think he asked a very interesting question there. Can the race in Kentucky against Allison Grimes I forget what position she holds there. Can it cost so much money that it forces people, conservatives, if you will, Republicans really, to spend more money on his race, therefore abandoning, for example, the North Carolina race and the defeat of Kay Hagan, the Louisiana race and the defeat of Mary Landrieu? It's an interesting question. I would answer it in the following way. Jeepers, I don't know. Because it is unknown yet what will come from that other side. There's no way of knowing right now how much more money is going to be necessary. And it may create amongst those establishment set who feel good about a victory over the Tea Party a moment of giving. So he may be a beneficiary of some advanced and some greater fundraising because he was able to dispatch of Bevin in Kentucky, who was the Tea Party challenger. McConnell got 60% of the vote. Bevin got 35%. You can argue it's a 2-for-1 margin. If that's the case, is it possible that Mitch McConnell is now going to be the beneficiary of a lot of people who may have stayed on the sidelines and said, oh, he's the real deal, we got to throw the money in? That McConnell is unpopular is a function, I think, of a few things, not being an expert on my Kentucky politics. But I think a lot of that can get placated, and I think Ben did a very good job of bringing it up. Mitch McConnell was able to better secure this win by having Rand Paul come to his defense, which he didn't have to do. Rand Paul did not have to do that at all. So if he'll come to his defense now in the primary, one would have to argue, at least I would, that he will come to his defense and to his aid in the general. And there are, I believe, some points that can be established. Points meaning actual polling points, if you will. That will go immediately to McConnell, go a long way in placating any quote-unquote anger or resentment or bother that people feel with McConnell because Rand is there. He can do that. So I think that just that Rand Paul play, as Ben had brought up, I think that has to be put back in the mix and can add some more points for McConnell. I absolutely think that that can happen. That could take place. But, you know, money is everything. We should not forget. No one should ever forget that the money is what matters. You want to run for office, you better have some loot. You better have some cash. You better be able to fundraise. If you're thinking of running for office, the question that will be asked, there are two questions that will be asked. How much money do you have? How much money can you raise? And then it will be followed up with, raise that money, get back to me. Don't tell me you got a heart of gold. Don't say that you're going to really take it to the establishment, that you're going to be a different kind of politician. That's fantastic. How much money do you have? How much money are you going to raise? Raise the money and get back to me. That's exactly how it works. It was also interesting to hear Ben talk about the team that Governor Pence has around him. I have heard that before. That is not the first conversation I have heard about who is advising Governor Pence. Much more ahead. Keep it here. This, my friends, P-Funk Night. Tony Katz tonight.
Hey, Bob, what's up? Ooh, that doesn't look good.
Yeah, I have a roof leak, and my gutters have pulled away from the house over here. I don't know who to call.
You should call Preferred Roofing and Restoration.
And just
Their
like that,
reputation
we're on
means
time.
everything. We've used them on this house and our last house. They're local, family-owned, and operated.
Mostly.
They use quality
What
products.
do you mean
There's no
mostly?
shortcuts. And
I hit that
Do you have
perfect.
29 on your clock?
Yeah.
windows.
Okay, because the log says 27. I never know what time breaks are. I just know that you hit them.
No.
Preferred Roofing
We
and
hit it at
Restoration is years of experience with your
1629.
insurance company, so they'll get you the most out of
What
your
is
insurance dollar.
44
They can work with your insurance company
and
handle all the insurance claim processes, or
5715.
you need to call Preferred Roofing and Restoration today.
Yeah, I just know that what you have, and then our traffic department can't make logs with the right times on them.
Well, they're racist.
Correctly.
They are racist and probably hate Jews.
Online at preferredroofingindy.com.
Probably.
Roofing and Restoration. Reputation.
Probably, definitely.
Are you looking for a church with both a rich history and an eye on the future?
Pastor John Gable of Tabernacle Presbyterian Church.
Whenever I look around our sanctuary or stand on our sports team, I'm reminded of and inspired by the faithfulness of those who have gone
Oh, I gotta get that in.
our church's 160
So much to do.
So what accounts for Tab's long history? I believe it's our faithfulness.
I'm in the middle of the show and I'm reminded, oh yeah, I forgot to do those 5 things today.
2,000 years, but it's still relevant today.
Focus, Katz.
Of course, it's helpful.
Pacers are up 63-62 as we head into the fourth period.
That's what we're talking about.
Yes, Tab has a rich history.
Fourth period?
Also engaged right now.
Is basketball in periods or quarters, hockey girl?
Sorry.
34th Street and Central Avenue in Indianapolis.
That was funny.
Also known as overtime.
That was very, very funny.
If you can't make it in person, tune in to Sunday with Tab, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WIBC. To learn more about Tab, visit us at tabpres.org.
America is for the makers. For those who believe quality is a promise and craftsmanship a value. At New Balance, one of every 4 shoes we sell in the USA is made or assembled in our American factories by our American makers. New Balance. Let's make excellent happen. Where the domestic value is at least 70%, we label our shoes made in USA.
Visit us in Greenwood at Stop 12 Road, a half mile north of Greenwood Park Mall, or in Carmel at 99th and Michigan Road.
55.
This Memorial Day weekend,
I don't know what I was doing there.
Did you know that I did not see my first Indianapolis 500 until I had graduated from college?
Get your tickets now at ims.com.
You know, that will be me too, because I will not see it until hopefully next year. I'll be in town.
Like at all, period. I'd never even seen it on TV.
Oh, well, that's just madness.
They black it out here.
May 24th.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's true.
Presented by Pirates.
Which, you know, you'd think if they didn't black it out, people would watch it and be like, hey, I want to go to that next year. But no.
Hardwell, Nervo, and Dylan Francis jam in the Snake Pit. And oh yeah, you'll also witness the crowning of a new Indy 500 winner. Start your engines for the Verizon IndyCar Series Indianapolis 500. Visit IMS.com now for all your event and ticket info. But hurry, because they're going fast.
Hey, it's Steve Simpson for Leaf Guard of Indiana. You know, when I needed a gutter protection system, I chose Leaf Guard of Indiana, the ultimate gutter protection system. Not just clog-free, but guaranteed clog-free. A Leaf Guard doesn't go up under your shingles or attach to your roof like the other shutters, covers, and helmets out there. That means that Leaf Guard does not nail to your roof.
I had to turn on my air conditioning today.
Compromise your roof. More importantly,
Why? How hot was it?
Now, right now, Leaf Guard of Indiana is offering 12 months interest.
Mid-80s.
As low as $50.
Really?
So if you have,
I thought it was freezing
Very
last
cold,
week.
and now it's kind of warm again.
317-546-0600. Guaranteed never to clog.
I thought it was
You
like
get 'em
super,
and
super
forget 'em.
chilly.
I have. Call before the offer is pulled. Leaf Guard of Indiana. 317-546-0600.
It was, I know, last week when we discussed weather a little bit, it was in like the mid-40s.
317-546-0600.
Can't keep up.
When it rains, it shines, and you're worry-free. A Leaf Guard gutter never clogs. Guaranteed.
There's a
have
current
that
flowing through
story?
Indianapolis. More than a current of electricity
do
to
that
power your
then.
day. It's a current of IPL employees helping
I will
their
discuss.
neighbors.
Okay, I've got
Whether
that
it's
there.
planting
Good,
trees at
good.
local parks or serving the youth and elderly in our neighborhoods, IPL's people are taking the time to make sure a growing city grows together. In fact, of all the power we provide, our power to give back could be the most important. IPL, a current flowing from the heart of Indianapolis.
15 seconds.
Have more fun this summer by getting outside and camping.
Fantastic, then.
Register for the Big Joe on the Go RV rental on WIBC.com. This is Tony Katz Tonight. Follow Tony on Twitter at Tony Katz.
You are go.
Did I mention it's P-Funk night? P-Funk Night here at Tony Katz tonight. 317-239-9393. Toll free 800-571-9422. It is. I'm thrilled by it. The official, seriously, we should get a clock, Ashley, and it should be the official countdown clock for Tony Katz, counting down my days in California. I can't take it any longer. I cannot take it any longer. This is Governor, so embarrassing, Governor Jerry Brown. There have been a tremendous amount of wildfires here. There were actually 8 of them going in the San Diego area. And while it's not surprising if it's super dry and super windy and super hot for fires to take place, 8 at one time is a peculiar notion. It's strange. And we already know that a couple of them were arson. Some people discussing whether or not they were terrorism. I have no way of proving that at this moment, but I believe that a conversation about what that could look like is worthwhile. What I do know is that there are a group of people who never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity. This is from the Los Angeles Times, local. Even as wildfires cool in San Diego, Governor Jerry Brown is heating up his argument that what the state really is battling is global warming. We here in California are on the front lines, Brown said on ABC in the first of 2 Sunday morning show appearances. We've got to deal with it. We've already appropriated $600 million. We have 5,000 firefighters. We're going to need thousands more. And in the years to come, we're going to have to make very expensive investments and adjust. And the people are going to have to be careful how they live, how they build their homes, and what kind of vegetation is allowed to grow around them. See, you can't have any vegetation. That'll come next. The governor repeated his belief that the spring's fire season, already consuming 25,000 acres and destroying dozens of homes in San Diego County, has been worsened by climate change brought on by human activity. And this is where the divide exists, boys and girls. The idea that somehow you should be guilty for your existence. He claims that there's political denial, especially among Republicans, of forces that he said are changing the way Californians must live. Must live? Well, I don't know what that means, must live. But I don't know if I must live in California if Jerry Brown is going to tell me how I must live. Now, if you wanted to tell me, because of the droughts that are taking place in California, that nobody can water their grass, I would say, fine, let's get rid of all grass altogether. My father has forever been using the line, grass makes stupid. Grass is ridiculous. The people who spend all this time watering the grass and mowing the grass and edging the grass, you got to have the greenest grass. Oh, you got a brown spot in the grass, you got to get some sod and fill in the grass. It's grass. Aside from the fact that it's fun to walk in, barefoot every now and again, it is an unbelievable time suck. It's an unbelievable waste of money. Now, you could say to me, Tony, lots of guys make a living mowing lawns and edging lawns and caring for lawns. Yeah, and they'll make a living doing something else when I get rid of my lawn. So you could have that argument with me that you could be able to save a whole bunch of money if people didn't have to, or a whole bunch of water, I should say, if people didn't have to water their lawns. I'm totally down. What California, I think, is going to get to is dictating what you can and cannot have on your property. That and based on what? Based on the fact that California gets wildfires? Yes, they do. They get earthquakes too. I mean, that's just part of the deal. You live in Oklahoma, gonna be a tornado. By the way, Ashley, correct me if I am wrong. Tornadoes do not come through Indianapolis. True or false?
A little bit of both.
That is not. What answer is that, Solomon?
Because I cannot say that is false, but I can't say that it's true either. We've had in the past, there was a tornado on the south side of Indianapolis that destroyed, weirdly enough, the YMCA that my mother went to as a child. So yes, they're common. And
Wait, do you think the tornado was after her directly?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Tornado with a memory right there.
Yeah.
I was told. So I'm at the airport. I'm flying out from my last trip, and there was a weather warning, and I heard it, and I'm at whatever the coffee place was, and I said, "Are we gonna get a tornado?" And the girl behind the counter said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Did you just hear that? They said there's a weather warning, and I'm wondering if that means a tornado." And she's like, "Tornadoes don't come to Indianapolis, sir. Don't be a schmuck," which I thought was pretty daring, but I still bought the coffee. So I'm like, all right, I guess they don't come. And then I go to sit down, and the world opened up. I haven't seen a rain like this since Tampa Bay. It was insane. Arcs, multiple, were floating by at the airport. I was pretty sure my flight was going to get canceled. It was surreal.
We're on that special tornadoes don't hit here, sir list. You have to apply to it way far in advance. No. They're not common in Indianapolis, but they're very common in Indiana.
Okay, but that's southern Indiana. Like, for example.
No, it's not necessarily southern Indiana. It happens across the state in both northern and southern
It
Indiana.
does?
Yes.
Man.
It's a little bit more common in the central.
That's not what I want to hear. Now I'm just going to be I'm going to be freaked.
So you want a house with a basement, Tony. If you were to move here, you'd want a basement.
One thing at a time. First of all, of course, you'd want a house with a basement. Absolutely. And you know what else? You know what else I would need? A panic room. And you know what else I would need? I would need that panic room to also be a walk-in humidor. My panic room would be a walk-in humidor. Because that is 2 birds, 1 cigar. That's genius right there. But I will tell you that I used to live in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay does not get hurricanes. They come below, they go above. There could be a lot of rain, there could be a fair amount of wind, but no hurricane ever hits Tampa Bay. Doesn't happen. Does not happen at all. I'm just saying. So I when I heard that about Indianapolis, I said, well, it's possible. I mean, Tampa Bay, they don't get the hurricanes. But you're saying, oh, no. Especially when they're after your mother, they will come and they will target. They will target like Sarah Palin creating a website. They will they will put the site right on there. I just think it's horrible that Mother Nature is coming after your mom like that. Just a shame. But we're in California, we're going to get to the point where they're going to tell you never mind how big of a house you can build and what kind of materials that you can use, but now it's what kind of vegetation you can have and whether or not you can have a pool and whether or not you can do this and whether or not you can do that. And then there are going to be fees upon fees upon fees upon fees for the luxury of paying property taxes in California. It's an unsustainable model. There are wildfires here. They happen. And I've talked about them before. If you haven't seen them, it's hard to describe it as beautiful when you know the destruction that takes place when they occur. When the fire jumps the line and starts getting into neighborhoods, you just want to cry because you're watching these people. The news cameras are there. They're all practiced at this. And the fire will jump a defensive line that the firefighters who are they're remarkable men and women, amazing people. They're amazing. And when it jumps the line, you can see these people who live on the other side, and their hearts just sink, and they're like, all right, everything's already packed in the car. Let's go. This is over. There will be no house when I return. I get it. And off they go, and it's unbelievable. It will turn your stomach. So it's kind of hard to say that wildfire it's an amazing sight when you see it moving through, but it is. It's unbelievable. It's an unbelievable sight. But to say it's man-made, if global warming is doing this, we are guilty, and we have to not do things that allow us to conserve the water so we're able to fight the fires. But they're going to get to the place, as they always do, where the answer will be taking more of your money, more of your ability to move freely about the state, to live your life as you see fit. Why would you want to stay in a place like that? So set up the countdown clock, because it's only a matter of time. This is Tony Katz Tonight.
Nice shot.
Thanks.
Hey, I'm playing.
Okay, the tornado map's a lot of fun.
You should enter a team too. Great.
What's the tornado
What's the
map?
Good News Open?
I sent it to you in a message. It's
there
a
it is.
tornado history project map, and you can flip around, and it starts in like the 1950s, and you flip the numbers at the top, and it shows you tornadoes at different years and stuff on the map.
Bring it up when we come back. I
Best
will
tournament
feed
ever,
it to you.
and it's for a good cause.
Good News Ministries provides food, shelter, health care, other vital services, and the gospel for homeless men, families, and disadvantaged inner-city children. The Good News Open is a great way to help those less fortunate. The Good News Open, Friday, June 6th, 1 o'clock tea time at the Winding River Golf Course. Good News Open. Great fun, greater cause. You can register online at goodnewsministries.com. Help the homeless today. Click on the yellow registration button at goodnewsministries.com.
Dave, how would you define a good value?
Well, that's easy, Beth. Having the right product with the right application and the right installation.
All right, I don't know who Squirrel King is, but he's very
Home
angry.
Comfort Advisors will perform.
I assume it's a he. Very angry Squirrel King in the chat room.
With payback periods and solutions to issues with their current system.
Why is he upset?
This will also help determine the best.
He's upset with Mother Nature because global warming is BS. Because did you see all the snow and winter that we had in Indiana?
If it's not installed properly.
Yeah, I remember not seeing my front yard for 3 months.
Factory rep training, and we have continuing in-house training.
Celebrate the indoors with B&W Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning and American Standard.
Call us today at 243-3581.
B&W Plumbing and Heating, the professionals in the big black trucks.
But does he not remember the summer where it was 106 degrees, like the day before 4th of July?
No overtime, Monday through Saturday, 7.
That happens. Last week it was 103 here in the valley. It was, and now and it's without humidity, so you can somewhat survive. But 103 is hot. I don't care where you are. I used to live in Arizona. Hot is hot.
See if you qualify for the
I liked the dry heat in New Mexico a lot.
800-375-1168.
Well, yeah, it's a completely different experience. It's a completely different kind of flying altogether. It's a totally different kind of flying.
1168.
What do you mean you got there exactly on time?
Ever since we started using Fleetmatics to keep track of our trucks and vans, our business has been running really smoothly.
Are you telling me you've cut your fuel costs?
Squirrel King is a he.
But some habits are hard to break.
So I was right about that.
From a happy customer.
Fleetmatics.
Where are we with the game?
Make fleet tracking more intelligent with real-time tracking, fuel monitoring.
Indiana 73, Miami 72, 5.5. Wait a minute. Make that Indiana 75, Miami 72, 5:30 left to play.
To give your home a beautiful new look. Now during Menards.
Listen, too much game to play to even get close to getting crazy about it. But to go up 2-0 is.
It's paint and primer all in one, saving you time.
Now, the whole wildfire concept is not really a thing we do here, so that to me is completely foreign.
After rebate on 5-gallon pails.
I got to admit, it's amazing to watch. It really and truly is. It's, for lack of a better word, and I don't mean to be cruel when I say it, it's beautiful.
Located across Hamilton
That makes sense. Yeah.
But
this is
when you see the people who are like, it's over,
Tony Katz.
crush it.
George Clinton wouldn't play, so I'm just turning you on.
What do you mean P-Funk wouldn't play?
P-Funk does not want to play.
Find more P-Funk. This is P-Funk night on Tony Katz tonight. I will wait. Find more P-Funk. Thank you. Oh, good song. Turn it up. P-Funk night on Tony Katz tonight. 317-239-9393. Toll free 800-571-9422. Ashley sent me the tornadohistoryproject.com for tornadoes in Indiana. You counted 7, Ashley, that have hit within the 465 loop since the 1950s.
That was on the first page of the map. It looks like they have at least 6. And so for each page, it tabulates how many were within the loop. So some decades are busier than others, and then they have the most recent 5 years on the map. And
Right.
there have been some things around here. Let's see. There was an F4 in Indianapolis in 1972.
First of all, that's 41 years ago.
Yes, I'm clicking through the pages as we speak.
So by that definition, we're due.
Yes.
Not to get everybody crazy.
Oh, but we know how to handle them here. You know, you get in the bathtub with a mattress and a flashlight, and you wait.
Is that what you do?
If you don't have a basement or an interior hallway, yes.
You know what Abdul calls that? Getting in the bathtub with a mattress? Tuesday. He's there right now.
Wow.
He's soaking in it. Thank you very
Wow.
much. That's right. You can call that. That happens real time. Tell him I said so. I don't care. He doesn't scare me.
That's beautiful.
So the Pacers game is going on right now.
Yes.
The Pacers were up when we last spoke, 75-72 with like 5 minutes left in the fourth.
As soon as they wrap up this replay here of David West. Okay, with 4:19 left to play in the game, Indiana leads 75-74, and it would appear that Sir Headband himself is at the free throw line.
Sir Headband? Are we mocking LeBron?
If that is indeed LeBron. Yes, it is.
Sir Headband, who else could it be?
Sir Headband. Yes.
You know, I thought it was funny. I saw the whole dust up regarding the signs of baby LeBron and baby Dwayne Wade. And the team actually told these guys you can't bring those signs back because some writer in Miami thought they were racist. I didn't think they were racist, but I didn't understand them. What was the point of baby Dwayne Wade and baby LeBron? Like, I've heard the stories about LeBron that he whines, right? There's a lot of whining. And then there was the thing that, he gets a cramp and has to be taken off the court, but a hockey player dies on the ice, gets revived, and wants to play again. Like that whole thing. So I remember that, but is LeBron a whiner? Like, is that a thing? And I somehow missed it?
Yeah, I think people just in general have a lot of issues with LeBron, the way he carries himself, the way he handled himself when he left Cleveland, that kind of thing. So not a very high opinion.
How was he supposed to handle himself when he left Cleveland?
I don't know. Maybe not have a television special, about his decision. Maybe that rubbed people the wrong way.
How old was he? 22? 23?
Probably.
I'd like to tell you about all the decisions I made when I was 23, and I didn't have television cameras on me, documenting my every misdeed. If I did, I'm pretty sure I'm not here today.
Yeah, we wouldn't let you have a radio show. If that
Yeah,
was the case.
wouldn't so much be here at this juncture. So I think that if Cleveland is still mad at him, what are you oohing? What is that?
Sorry.
You're interrupting my whole flow here with
I'm
your
sorry.
oohing. Now I need to know, what are you oohing about?
Okay, now Indiana's trailing by 5.
By 5.
By 5.
It's basketball, ladies and gentlemen. There's 4 minutes left or 3 minutes left. That goes on for a good 25 years.
That's true. It will be like 2019 by the time we're done with this game.
Yes, that's the year, not the.
The year.
That's what you meant.
Yeah, that would be the year.
So yeah, the global warming hysteria, which continues unabated. Again, going to this idea of fear-mongering. It is fear-mongering. What you're seeing from Governor Jerry Brown of California, regarding how people have to change their lives. It's fear-mongering. There are conversations going on about how kids in school they're under a constant stress. They're in constant fear because they're being told daily, if you will, that the earth is falling apart and they're killing it. It is child abuse. It's child abuse. But it's not the way I choose to live, and it's certainly not a place where I would ever want my kids to be a part of. You know, we were talking with Ben Dominic of the Transit Heartland Institute, and we talked about Governor Pence. We were talking specifically about Healthy Indiana, the HIP plan, HIP 2.0, and this expansion of Medicaid, and a problem that will be for a guy like Pence. He related it to Mitt Romney, somebody who went for a concept in their own state and they weren't able to shake because it clearly had a progressive bias for someone who claims to be a conservative. And I brought up the Common Core, that Indiana shuffled off Common Core to replace it with Common Core. And this has people incredibly infuriated. And that's where I first started hearing that people not happy with those surrounding Pence. He seems to be like a different guy. And I'm still learning my way on this. I do not yet claim to be an expert on all things Hoosier politics. But you know I'll get there. It's only a matter of time. This is what I do. I get to that moment. But it is Medicaid expansion. It is what it is. It adds on to the problem with Common Core, with how it has been handled. And I have, again, nothing specifically against Governor Pence. I'd like to meet him. I'd like to talk to him. I'd love to have him on the program. These two things do not work in the world of conservatives or in the world of Tea Party. And I do not know where his help would come from, where his base would be when you eliminate that large of a constituency. More ahead. This is Tony Katz Tonight.
There's a current flowing through Indianapolis.
Be right back, guys.
More than a current of electricity to power your day.
Roger.
It's a current of IPL employees helping their neighbors. You can see them almost everywhere you look. At your local youth center, at IPL's Day in the Parks, even at the IPL 500 Festival Parade. In all, IPL employees spend nearly 20,000 hours a year volunteering in the community and serve on the boards of more than 90 organizations around town. Education, the environment, community enhancement, arts and culture, even economic development. IPL is investing in our city's future. Whether it's planting trees at local parks or serving the youth and elderly in our neighborhoods, IPL's people are taking the time to make sure a growing city grows together. In fact, of all the power we provide, our power to give back could be the most important. IPL, a current flowing from the heart of Indianapolis.
Jenny, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I feel like I'm in a bad job interview, BJ. What kind of question is that?
Exactly. Nobody knows. Life is a journey, right?
Yes.
And that journey is the point, not the destination.
Yes. And?
That's the inspiration behind our new compass necklace.
Ah, I've seen that. It's beautiful.
It's a striking round compass design with a diamond right in the center. Perfect for someone who's been walking by your side through life's journey.
A compass guiding your way through life together. I love it.
A gift so heartfelt, we've made it in several different sizes and combinations, so you can choose the one that you like the best. And they're priced from just $295.
I like the gold one, but they come in silver too.
Come see all of the compass necklaces exclusively at Reese Nichols Jewelers, north across from Keystone at the Crossing, in Greenwood, or online at reesenichols.com.
Indianapolis, more homeowners are choosing Meridian Mortgage Solutions for their purchase and refinance needs. We have rates starting in the twos with no application fee, little to no out-of-pocket closing cost, and a $500 credit on any home purchase with Meridian Mortgage Solutions. Perfect or less than perfect credit? Call now, 317-968-9500. Or apply online at meridianmortgagesolutions.net.
All loans and rates are subject to credit approval. Programs and rates are subject to change. Additional terms and conditions apply. Equal housing lender. See letter for restrictions and details. NMLS number 2975.
From the Plumbing, Heating, Paramedic Studios,
This is Central Indiana's news, weather, and traffic station.
93 WIBC, Indianapolis.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pam Puso. The stage is set for a U.S. Senate showdown.
My friends, tonight we begin the process of putting Kentucky first again.
Republican Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell handily defeating a Tea Party challenge to win tonight's Republican primary. He'll face Kentucky's Democratic Secretary of State Allison Lundergan Grimes.
As a proud Kentucky woman, I will speak for myself, and no Kentucky woman, Mitch McConnell, will sit on the back bench.
In Georgia, Democrat Michelle Nunn has won the Democratic primary for U.S. Senate. Her GOP opponent has yet to be determined, although David Perdue has scored a runoff spot. In Arkansas, voters selected two former congressmen, Democrat Mike Ross and Republican Asa Hutchinson, to vie to replace Democratic Governor Mike Beebe. In Pennsylvania, Democrat Tom Wolf will take on Republican Governor Tom Corbett. Governor Corbett opposes gay marriage, and it's possible he'll appeal a judge's ruling overturning the state's ban on same-sex marriage.
In his ruling, U.S. District Judge John Jones said, "We are a better people than what these laws represent, and it is time to discard them into the ash heap of history."
Reporter Bob Hauer with Fox Radio affiliate WHP in Harrisburg. In Idaho, a halt to same-sex weddings now that an appeal has been filed to a judge's ruling overturning Idaho's ban on gay marriage. Another 2 million cars being recalled by General Motors.
Over 1 million Buick Enclave, Chevy Traverse, GMC Acadias, and Saturn Outlooks have a seatbelt that could loosen. Chevy Malibus and Pontiac G6s have a shift problem, and the issue some Cadillac Escalades and Escalade ESVs is with an airbag that might not deploy correctly.
Fox News Radio's Jennifer Kuiper. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Weekdays on Fox Business.
Bottom line here is we want investors to be prepared for the day ahead, the week ahead.
Opening Bell with Maria Bartiromo.
The concept is to bring perspective, analysis. All day long, I'm speaking with global allocators of capital, CEOs, heads of state, so I can anticipate some of the major moves or reactions, giving investors an edge.
Opening Bell with Maria Bartiromo. Weekdays at 9 a.m. Eastern on Fox Business.
On point, outspoken, always candid.
I have a message for this president, this administration.
Now, more than ever, we need a place for honest conversation.
Why can't you just say he was wrong?
Open debate and a real dialogue on the tough issues.
Debt has risen nearly $7 trillion. I don't want that for any community in this country. Republicans can't give in to this bullying.
A voice not afraid to be heard.
What part of that argument
that
was the wrong thing to do? Conservatives, you need to hold the line.
Watch Hannity weeknights on Fox News Channel.
I'm Alex Brown in the 93 WIBC 24-hour news center. The 2018 Super Bowl will not be played at Lucas Oil Stadium. Minnesota gets the NFL's marquee event in a new stadium, and the Colts' former All-Pro Jeff Saturday, who helped present Indy's bid, is disappointed.
I felt we put together a great package and presented it well. It just wasn't for us. It wasn't the right time, and so ultimately the owners made a decision to go elsewhere. We wish them the best of luck in Minnesota and congratulate them.
Finishing third in the first two rounds of voting, Indianapolis was eliminated. Gas prices could be a little higher this summer, though one economist does not believe they will touch $4 a gallon.
AAA says the average price in Indy and across the state is $3.79 right now. Energy economist Wally Tyner at Purdue expects that to trickle down to $3.50 eventually, but says it will go back up.
But on average, I think they're going to be a little bit higher this summer than they were last summer. We're talking pennies, not dimes or quarters, but just a little bit.
We're using less gas in the U.S., mainly because we're driving more efficient cars. People in China and India are using more gas, though, which Tyner says will keep gas prices high everywhere. Ray Steele, 93 WIBC News.
One person is dead after a crash on the city's west side Tuesday afternoon. Police say the two-car crash happened near the intersection of West 17th Street and North Tibbs Avenue. Officers found a 53-year-old woman unresponsive inside her car. She was pulled from the car and taken to IU Health Methodist Hospital in critical condition, where she later died. The driver of the other car was taken to Eskenazi Hospital in good condition with minor injuries. You're up to date. Get local news on demand at WIBC.com. Now here's the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Tonight, mostly cloudy, 65 for the low, 20% chance of thunderstorms overnight. Scattered thunderstorms likely tomorrow, high of 82. Cooler, partly sunny, 73 as we get to Thursday. I'm RTV6 meteorologist Kevin Gregory.
Hear that?
You've got to be kidding me.
Unbelievable. That's the sound of people opening their electric bills to discover
basically
they've
the
nearly
Pacers
doubled.
We can't afford
the
this.
pooch.
An 80% cost hike. It's something we better
hard and long.
if extreme
Wow.
administration power plant regulations take effect.
Ridiculous.
The EPA admits these regulations will do little to reduce carbon emissions, and the U.S. Department of Energy says they could push wholesale electricity costs up 80%.
What?
Carbon dioxide regulations that won't reduce carbon emissions.
we will do this.
Huge electricity bills we can't afford.
We got to do something.
There's a better solution, a balanced approach built on new, proven, more efficient power systems that reduce emissions and provide reliable, affordable electricity.
Now that makes sense.
Tell your elected representative to stand up for affordable electricity. Go to countoncoal.org. Paid for by the National Mining Association.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tony Katz Tonight.
You are live.
So my latest article about the rapper Macklemore. You could let that just play out there, actually. You don't have to cut that so abruptly. This... I mean, I guess he's always been kind of a shticky rapper, right? Like, he clearly believes in his skills, but the breakout song, Thrift Shop, which is a catchy song, good song, I don't say no. But then he decided that he was going to be go from the rapper of kitsch to being the full-throated social consciousness rapper. He ends up doing a surprise concert at a museum in Seattle. And he shows up. There's something called the Experience Music Project Museum. He shows up in costume for whatever reason. He claims it was to not get mobbed by the unruly fans. He shows up in costume. The costume is that of a bad comic, stereotypical Jewish guy. He's got the black hair, like the curly hair, black wig. He's got the gold chains, and he's got a nose prosthetic. So he's got this huge nose. He's even got a beard going. That's how he shows up. And well, I mean, some people were claiming, or he was claiming, that it was because he didn't want to be mobbed by fans. But no one really knows why he dressed up like that, except to say that this event happened on a Friday night, and one reason could be that none of the Jews he was mocking in this getup would be there on a Friday night, it being Friday night and all. And it's clear that no one is really sure if the intent of the getup was to be anti-Semitic, because intent and reality are often two different things. I'm sure President Obama, for example, didn't intend for people to lose their doctors or their plans under Obamacare. And, it just happened. So maybe Macklemore he didn't intend for his getup where he wears the prosthetic nose, because Jews have big noses, and the gold chains because Jews love gold, and the beard because, he once saw Yentl. He didn't intend specifically to be anti-Semitic. Seth Rogen put out on Twitter, first you trick people into thinking you're a rapper, now you trick them into thinking you're Jewish, which I thought was a very, very good line. Now there's a site called the Daily Dot that says that Macklemore is Jewish, even though he denies it. He denies the ancestry, although he was doing a video for performing at the Video Music Awards for MTV, and he's blowing a shofar. Now that's a ram's horn. It's used to signify the Jewish high holidays. Well, I don't know why he's doing that in the video, but okay. And it reminded me that when Lady Gaga, and by the way, Poker Face and Bad Romance are incredible songs. I'll use those too. Can't say I know every song off I don't even know what the first album was. I don't even know if you call them albums anymore. Incredible, incredible songs. When she put out her latest release, which was called Art Pop, it was supposed to really signify that she was going to bring together art and pop culture, because only she was really capable of doing such a thing. Art Pop has been a disaster for the label Interscope. It's cost $25 million. It is going to put people out of business. Lots of people are going to lose their jobs over Art Pop. And the music was reviewed unfavorably, to be kind. I mean, just derivative nonsense stuff. And when you look at why it flopped, there's a theme that happens with artists. It happens constantly. When the artist thinks their existence is more important than their art, they usually end up creating art that no one wants. If I replace Lady Gaga with Kanye West, I prove the thesis true. Kanye, Gold Digger, is a great song. I'm sorry, it's great. You don't like it? Oh well, it's a great song. But this whole Yeezus nonsense, this displaying himself like the 1984 guy, just that talking head, the ridiculous video with Kim Kardashian. Did you ever see that video, Ashley?
No, I don't think I did.
Oh, you need to see that video. The video with Kanye and Kim on the motorcycle. Oh, what a display of egocentrism. I can't tell you what the song is. I can't tell you what the song means. I can't tell you how the song is supposed to touch people or affect people or move the message that people relate to. It's Kanye and Kim's ass, I mean, on a motorcycle. It's ridiculous. But now Macklemore has, and quite clearly, reached that same exact moment where they think they're more important than the art. And I talk very openly about the fact that what he did at the Grammys with this whole, marriage thing, it was ridiculous. It was as shameful as anything I've ever seen. Not because he's a believer that two women or two men should be able to get married, although I say two women or two men should be able to spend their lives together. It's that you are focused solely on the shock value, and I don't want marriage to be about shock value. If you actually thought that marriage was an institution of value, you would not assign it shock value, and you wouldn't do it on TV. You made it just like a thrift shop. It's kitsch, and kitsch is cute. Kitsch is not serious. It's not serious. he's reached this moment. I have no idea what he was trying to pull with the anti-Semite getup. But this getup, mixed with his wedding hysteria at the Grammys, puts him quite literally on the Gaga train to laughingstock. There's always room for one more on the Gaga train. Always, always, always. And I'm amazed at how little they even notice it. How little they notice that their art is suffering because they think themselves so important. Let me go to Chris on line 2 there. Chris, welcome to Tony Katz Tonight. What's up, Chris? Chris, why hast thou forsaken me, Chris?
Sorry, they just now hit the button and I can hear you.
What's up?
Well, first off, I'd like to agree that Gold Digger is a great song.
Thank you very much.
Secondly, I can't participate in this search for hidden racism. Whatever he dressed up as, okay, it could be chalked up to poor taste. He didn't say anything anti-Semitic.
Agreed. You can chalk it up to 100 different things if you feel like it.
Yeah. If we are going to look at racism in rap, it's not going to be looking at the white rapper at other white people. That's not where the racism in rap lies. All you have to do is go a little bit south to the counterculture of rap. You're going to find a gut full of racism that is going to make your head explode if you actually read the lyrics to some of the incomprehensible songs that are out there. So if you're looking to be offended by a rap song,
let me at least get to one big difference here, and I appreciate the call. I'm not looking to be offended. I am not offended, and I can actually prove the total lack of offense I have to so many people who clearly have a problem with Jews. And I would never say that there isn't some serious racial overtones in rap music that does not get talked about all over the place. I am saying to put on that getup and then to claim like he did, oh, it was just some stuff I got at a costume shop. No big deal. You're reading too much into it. Well, that's crap. If you're going to do something, be honest about it. He tried to do something and figured everyone would love him because he's Macklemore. And when people said, hey, that's in bad taste, he decided that those other people were the problem, which goes back to my thesis. When people think they're more important than the art, they make crappy art. We discuss more when we return. This is Tony Katz Tonight.
It's time to breathe better, Indy. Franciscan St. Francis Health, the American Lung Association, and Emmis Communications are on a mission to help Central Indiana Hoosiers improve their lung health.
May is Asthma Awareness Month. Approximately 1 in 11 adults in Indiana are currently diagnosed with asthma. If you live with asthma, you know how important it is to follow your action plan and avoid triggers.
If I am
pollen or even pet dander.
Conservative,
don't take control of your life.
what
Unfortunately,
am I being asked?
many
Am I
people with
conservative,
severe
liberal,
asthma
or in the
struggle,
middle?
Even with medications. Franciscan
You
St. Francis
tell
Health
me.
now offers bronchial thermoplasty.
Ooh, which
a
one
new
am I?
non-drug outpatient procedure for adults whose severe asthma is not well controlled with medications. Bronchial thermoplasty can provide long-lasting relief, reduce attacks, and help you take control of your asthma.
Asthma should not stop anyone from leading an active, healthy life. Go to breathebetterindy.com or call 877-751-LUNG for more information.
There's a current flowing through Indianapolis, more than a current of electricity to power your day. It's a current of IPL employees helping their neighbors. You can see them almost everywhere you look. At your local youth center, at IPL's Day in the Parks, even at the IPL 500 Festival Parade. In all, IPL employees spend nearly 20,000 hours a year volunteering in the community and serve on the boards of more than 90 organizations around town. Education, the environment, community enhancement, arts and culture, even economic development. IPL is investing in our city's future. Whether it's planting trees at local parks or serving the youth and elderly in our neighborhoods, IPL's people are taking the time to make sure a growing city grows together. In fact, a Of all the power we provide, our power to give back could be the most important. IPL, a current flowing from the heart of Indianapolis.
Springtime in Indy, and after a brutal winter, why not do what Glenn did with not one but two homes? He called Rhino Shield.
My wife actually, on our old house,
This
on our
cocked the
roof,
computer.
and the paint can then fell, covering the roof and the shingles. And it was at that point we said, we just really don't want to do this anymore.
I just got a phone call from Iowa.
Guaranteed protection of
Not surprising.
15% off the regular.
No, it's very surprising. My kids won the championship.
To the paint. And so
Oh, I thought it was a call for the show.
So we're reduced our.
No, it was our media guy. He came through on the hotline so I could hand over the sports report.
Springtime savings, get 15% off the regular price of Rhino Shield. 15%.
Well, congratulations to you and your people.
Here's Jim Williams, owner of Rhino Shield.
Thanks. I'm really proud of him.
And I'm assuming the Pacers lost?
Rhino 41.
Sorry?
I'm assuming the Pacers lost?
We've watched
Yes.
our neighbors who moved in after us already start to repaint, and we're just hooking along.
They really crapped the bed there at the end of the fourth.
Yeah.
Never paint your house again.
And I'm a New York Rangers fan, and I know what crap in the bed's like.
Today, Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been solving garage door problems for 33 years. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now.
There was some email in my inbox today about cupcakes, and of course, there are no more cupcakes, and now I really want cupcakes.
Phone call 875-4577.
Do you like cupcakes?
Who doesn't like
Not everyone
cupcakes?
is an athlete, but everyone has
Fascists.
needs. Wouldn't it be
True.
nice to have a place that not only understands the athlete's needs, but understands your needs as well? At the Shelbourne Knee Center, Dr. Shelbourne and Benner have taken care of every
I love
kind
to
of
bake. I should go home and make cupcakes,
including
but it'll be like 12 in
osteoarthritis
the
and
morning.
yes, even knee replacements. Find out more at fixknee.com or call 888-FIX-KNEE in collaboration with
I'm a
Indiana
fan of a
University Health
cupcake.
Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. The Shelbourne Knee Center. One focus, proven results.
If you need reliable, high-quality video production, look no further than PrimeImageMedia.com. PrimeImageMedia.com provides.
I really like these theme nights. I think they'd be fun to do over the course of the summer on our Friday night shows.
High-quality, consistent look to your corporate videos with the most reliable video company in the country. Visit PrimeImageMedia.com today to learn more. Mention Tony Katz and get 10% off your first production. That's PrimeImageMedia.com. PrimeImageMedia.com.
I'm Gary Dick. Inside Indiana Business Radio provides the breaking news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:40 a.m. and 5:35 p.m. on WIBC.
Stroke is a leading cause of death in America, and knowing the signs can save your life. As a certified advanced primary stroke center by the Joint Commission, St. Vincent Neurosciences helps you identify the signs and risk factors by offering a free stroke risk assessment. Visit knowyoursigns.org today.
You're listening to Tony Katz Tonight. To talk to Tony, call 239-9393.
You are go.
P-Funk Night on Tony Katz tonight, 317-239-9393. Toll free, 800-571-9422. Pacers do not pull it out. The Heat take game 2. What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do about that? It's all tied up at 1. I believe they head down to Miami. All I know is that I get into town next Sunday. I'm there for I'm between Houston and Wisconsin, so I'm gonna be in town for like a day. And if I'm there, and there's a game 7, which will take place in Indianapolis, someone's gonna get me a ticket. That's all I have to say about that. But I want to go back to that caller, and I appreciate the call. We're talking about Macklemore and his getup with the prosthetic nose and the black hair and the black beard and the gold chains and looking every bit the bad comic stereotypical Jewish man getup. You know, it's the kind of stuff they'll write in cartoons when they want to make fun of Jews. And I think that the caller was right on part A. You cannot allow yourself to be insulted by all things. And I think this is important to note. This happened right there in Seattle. I have not seen one Jewish group demand that you don't buy his CDs or download his music from iTunes. I haven't heard anybody say ban his concerts. I haven't seen anybody say we need to march against the anti-Semite Macklemore. Haven't seen it. Haven't seen an ounce of it. Let me take you to New York. In New York, there is a cabbie, a cab driver, who has decided that he's going to wear in his cab while he's working an armband with a swastika. That's what he's wearing. Now, the cabbie is black. The cabbie, I forget where he's from. He's not from the U.S. I'm forgetting. But when asked, said you don't have to be white to be a National Socialist. I have not heard anybody say, anybody of reason, you have seen no great campaign to the idea that he should be fired, that I haven't heard him say that he doesn't pick up Jewish passengers, Jewish, fares, or anything like that. The guy wants to be a National Socialist. I think it's just freaky. I don't know how I'd feel in the cab. But you don't see any groups of Jews getting together and saying this guy shouldn't be allowed in civil society. This guy shouldn't be allowed to work as a cabbie, especially in New York. I mean, you want to wear something like that, I'm sure there are towns out there that you can go to. You won't find many Jews, but in New York, it's sick. Where is that outrage? And so I use that as a way of explaining to the caller that to notice it and to speak about it. I mean, the article that I wrote over there at PJ Media was Macklemore, anti-Semite or schmuck? Because that's the question. It was not about a level of offense. It was not about going to rally. It was not about anything like that. It was about noticing. Things should be noticed. And what should be noticed regarding Macklemore is this idea that he is now convinced that because he does it, it's cool, as opposed to letting the music speak for him. The music has to be good. The music has to drive people. The music has to move people. If the music doesn't move people, then you what do you have? What in the world do we have? So you don't have Jews protesting. These two very different types of situations, right? These two very, very unique situations, and no one's calling for a protest. That's what I noticed. That's what I noticed. I want other people to start taking on that mantra. When you see something that's peculiar, you're allowed to talk about it. Not everything should mortally offend you and mortally wound you and send you to the grievance store to have to put together some kind of rally against it. That's the stuff that I think you should be bothered by, and I think you'd be right in bringing that up. There are indeed plenty of other real things to be offended by. Doesn't mean that you don't notice it. Doesn't mean you don't say, hey, by the way, just so you know, see that? That's pathetic. That's a schmuck right there. That is, if you've heard the word but you never quite knew what it meant, that picture of Macklemore in that getup, that's a schmuck. Now you know. So when people say so-and-so's a schmuck, you be like, oh, Macklemore, now I got it. It's more of a, I'm doing a public service here. I'm just trying to help people along, with how to put that together. We have got much more ahead. It is the P-Funk night on Tony Katz tonight. We'll be right back.
Nice shot.
Thanks.
Hey, I'm playing on a team in the Good News Open. You should enter a team too. Great tournament.
What's the Good News Open?
It's a charity golf benefit for Good News Ministries. They care for the homeless and needy.
I don't know. There's so many tournaments.
Not like this. You get 18 holes of golf, lunch off the grill, unlimited food and drinks on the course, a steak dinner at the end, and get this, a golf GPS watch. Best tournament ever, and it's for a good cause.
Good News Ministries provides food, shelter, health care, other vital services, and the gospel for homeless men, families, and disadvantaged inner-city children. The Good News Open is a great way to help those less fortunate. The Good News Open, Friday, June 6th, 1 o'clock tee time at the Winding River Golf Course. Good News Open, great fun, greater cause. You can register online at goodnewsministries.com. Help the homeless today. Click on the yellow registration button at goodnewsministries.com.
Do you remember what you looked like and felt like just 9 years ago? Hi, this is Denny Smith, and 9 years ago I was out of shape, feeling sluggish, and not very happy with my general state of health. An old friend recommended I try Exercise Inc. to try a different type of exercising that only took 20 minutes a week. Truthfully, I thought my friend was full of it, but here I am 9 years later still doing that 20 minutes a week, and I've never felt better. You ought to try it. And just know that it'll be the toughest 20 minutes of your life. You'll be doing 5 or 6 specific exercises that last less than 3 minutes on custom machines, and you'll come out of those slow cadence exercises pretty much exhausted. But don't worry. You recover really quickly, and you won't believe how much better you'll feel. And you'll find yourself so much healthier and in better and better shape each and every week. Just call them. It's Exercise Inc., and they're in 3 different locations, in Avon, in Brownsburg, and in Zionsville, all of them for you. 873-5700. That's 873-5700 or exerciseinc.com.
The biggest goal for me, it would be to continue to travel.
To do as well as I can do with my job.
I'm getting ready to retire, and I'm really looking forward to it. Getting healthy.
I would love to visit Australia. Never been to Australia.
Live well, chase your dreams, and along the way, make the decision to become an organ donor so you can give someone else the chance to chase their dreams too. Learn more at donatelifeindiana.org. Brought to you by the Indiana Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey, it's Steve Simpson for LeafGuard of Indiana. You know, when I needed a gutter protection system, I chose LeafGuard of Indiana, the ultimate gutter protection system. Not just clog-free, but guaranteed.
Oh, lordy,
LeafGuard doesn't
people.
go up under your shingles or attached to your roof like the other shutters, covers, and helmets out there. That means that LeafGuard does not nail
Madness.
So they're not going to compromise your roof, or more importantly, its warranty. Now, right now, LeafGuard of Indiana is offering 12 months interest-free and payments as low as $50. So if you have ever thought about calling LeafGuard, now is the time. 317-546-0600. Guaranteed never to clog. You get them and forget them. I have. Call before the offer is pulled. LeafGuard of Indiana, 317-546-0600, or you can find them at leafguardofindiana.com. Again, the number, 317-546-0600.
When it rains, it shines, and you're worry-free.
Let's see what else we've got.
Never clogs. Guaranteed.
Are you looking for teaching and preaching that is biblically based, but also makes you think?
Pastor John Gable of Tabernacle Presbyterian Church.
We like to believe that every church is Bible-based, but we also believe that Scripture is not simply a set of rules to be followed. The Bible should engage and challenge us.
Pacers lost 87-83.
As well. God didn't make us to be robots, but
Right.
living, loving beings with the ability to respond to Him and the needs of others. This means the sermons that come from Tab's pulpit are Bible-based, delivered with thoughtfulness and intelligence. They challenge and encourage us to think about what God is asking us to do. We hope you'll visit soon and discover for yourself how God is speaking.
Let's see what else I've
Tabernacle
got here.
Presbyterian Church, 34th Street and Central Avenue in Indianapolis, invites you to worship Sunday morning at 8, 9, or 11. If you can't
Oh,
make
that's
it in
good.
person,
There we
tune
go.
in to Sunday with Tab, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WIBC. To learn more about Tab, visit us at tabpres.org.
If you need reliable, high-quality video production, look no further than primeimagemedia.com. Primeimagemedia.com provides promotional videos, training videos, and conference and event coverage nationwide. Get a high-quality, consistent look to your corporate videos with the most reliable video company in the country. Visit primeimagemedia.com today to learn more. Mention Tony Katz and get 10% off your first production. That's primeimagemedia.com. primeimagemedia.com.
Hey gang, Greg Garrison here for Tom Roush Lincoln. I've been driving Tom Roush Lincolns for over 6 years, and if you don't count the 2 accidents, ouch, I've loved every minute of it. Lincoln Motor Company continues to produce a great product that is a pleasure to drive. Tom and Jeff are some great guys and work every day. They also have some true professionals that will assist you to stop by and see the lineup of Lincoln luxury vehicles. I highly recommend that you stop by and experience how pleasurable it can be to purchase a new vehicle. Tom Roush Lincoln at the corner of 169th and US 31 North, just north of those high prices.
Springtime is here, and with it comes warmer temperatures, and that means you'll need cooler air. Find an American Standard dealer near you at WIBC.com. This hour is powered by the professionals of Riverview Health. You're listening to Tony Katz tonight. To talk to Tony, call 239-9393.
You are go.
It is the P-Funk edition of Tony Katz tonight. Great to be with all of you. 317-239-9393. Toll free. 800-571-9422. Can I tell you that I see Twitter is a unique vehicle. And there are people who desperately and want to go after you for anything they can. So this past weekend, oh, it is so funny to see the haters. This past weekend, I did an event with Kurt Schlichter and Steven Cruiser. We have a show we have put together called Tracked and Targeted, and we're putting it together and we're trying things. It's been wonderful. And we ended up at an event in a place called the Inland Empire, which is here in the Los Angeles area. And Ann Coulter spoke, and Dinesh D'Souza, and we were there. Fantastic, great reception, everybody very happy. All of a sudden on Twitter, just now, I don't know if you guys are following on Twitter, the big objection, they thought we were in ill-fitting suits. And there's like 9 trolls who are all over this subject that somehow we're in ill-fitting suits. And my response was, that's what you have? Ill-fitting suits? Like, nothing about what we talked about. Your problem is what we were wearing? And a guy is saying that by saying that, it's a tacit admission to what you said actually being true. Like, yeah, we're dressed like formal night at an anime convention. I don't know what the heck to do with that information. These people are crazy. This is what Twitter has to offer. Like, I don't know what to do with the information. I don't know if people are trying to insult me or are on my side at this moment. But when you start a conversation with on Twitter by saying wait, hold on, I'll read it to you. It's hilarious. I can't find it. I cannot find it. Good God, those are some unbelievably ill-fitting cheap suits. Okay. And then it got followed up. I can't even find where the follow-up is. But it's unbelievably funny. Because if this is where they go to, it teaches you 2 very, very important things. Number 1, it teaches you that Alinsky was right and ridicule is man's most potent weapon. Nothing about content, nothing about what we're talking about, nothing about how we move an audience. Cheap suits now. You want me to sit here and argue with you about the cut of my suit and where I bought it and what I paid for it? No. No, that's psychotic. Good Lord, what kind of person does that? That's number one. You don't argue with a crazy person when they're crazy. You do make fun of them, though. You do mock them mercilessly. You do tell people to go to your Twitter feed at Tony Katz on Twitter and talk to these people because they need to be spoken to. Mock them. Shame them. Ask them for an updated picture of what they're wearing right now. And stay on them. I mean, they should be brutalized. It's Twitter, ladies and gentlemen. They hide behind keyboards. This is what they do. They hide behind their computers and they go after people. Not even about content, not about something that someone believes. What they wear. What they wear. How do you consider yourself a legitimate human being if this is the conversation? Now, being a guy who believes in a little bit of style, I got no problem with what I wear. I know what I'm putting together every time I'm walking out the door, and I know I look damn good. I don't mean to brag, Ashley, but damn good. What up? That's number one. Number two, I was going to get to the number two. Two very, very important things here. It's in when you're playing on Twitter, when you're playing in social media, and when you see these things, you'll notice that they very rarely happen in a vacuum. You got to understand how so much of social media works. When you're just having a conversation with friends or whatever, it's simple, it's easy. When you have put yourself out there are people who are dedicated to attacking you and trying to tear you down. This is what they do. This is their job. This is what they're all about. And there are people out there who are paid. Yes, they are paid to tear other people down, which is why so many people say, seriously, I have no interest in Twitter. I have no interest in social media. It's just, it's ridiculous. Who needs it? I get that. But when this stuff happens, and this one's funny because it's if someone wants to disagree with me, I'm so fine with that. That'd be great. This is just, the crazy talk, and I'm sharing it with you because it's happening as we speak. I mean, this isn't the plan. This is just what's going on. It happens all the time in a bunch of different ways. If they can create rumor, they'll create rumors. If they can create drama, they'll create drama. They find a way. That's their job. You need to know that. You should understand that this happens all the time. They are paid to do this stuff, or worse. Because the worst part is, what if they're not? And this is just who they are. I mean, that's just pathetic and sad and embarrassing. Also pathetic, sad, and embarrassing. General Motors' growing recall crisis shows no sign of ending as the Detroit automaker issued 4 new and expanded recalls Tuesday, totaling 2.79 million vehicles worldwide, shattering the company's all-time record for most recalled in a single year. So far, 2014, GM has recalled 13.6 million vehicles in the U.S. An undisclosed number of additional cars are expected to be called back today in 2 additional campaigns. Less than 5 months into the year, GM has surpassed its annual record of 10.7 million vehicles in 2004. 2004. Well, that was like right there when people started realizing that GM couldn't make a good car anymore. That's like right in that moment. But 2014, well, this is post bailout, and they paid back the money, and it was a huge success, and now they're making great automobiles. Except that they're not. This is absolutely unbelievable. GM expects to take a $400 million charge in the second quarter for the growing number of cars and trucks that must be fixed up from the $200 million announced just last Thursday. So much of this is from those ignition switches, where basically cars would stop in the middle of the road going 55 miles an hour to a dead stop. The keys would be too heavy for the ignition switch and bust right out. This is General Motors. And the CEO, Mary Barra, who's going to be testifying in a second round of hearings, she was in charge of engineering. She knew about these problems. And now she's the CEO. And by the way, she's an amazing story of someone whose father worked at GM. She worked at GM and worked her way up. An amazing story. But she knew of these problems. This is General Motors. You see, when you talk about this, that's not trolling. That's not trying to attack somebody. That's what's happening. They knew the problem. And they did nothing about it. And now millions of cars are getting recalled. Good bailout. Good plan. This is Tony Katz Tonight.
Take a guess at what's on sale from Unique Home Solutions in May.
Triple pane windows and gutters?
That's right. But that's not all. What else do you think's on sale in May?
How about solid core Stateman siding and 50-year roofs?
Right again. But that's still not everything.
Sounds like it's easier to say what Unique doesn't have on sale in May.
Everything Unique sells is on sale in May for 25% off. It's Unique's annual spring whole house sale.
Including my favorite kitchen and bath makeovers.
Including kitchen and bath makeovers, too. And the 25% off includes labor.
Am I also right that you have free handyman service just for looking?
Right again. So take advantage of the whole house sale and call Unique.
Unique Home Solutions, 1-800-800-1971.
Did you know your heartbeat, the rhythm of your valves opening and closing, mimics the music you listen to? Here's another fact you can take to heart. For 3 years running, Franciscan St. Francis Health is Indianapolis's only 5-star rated hospital for heart valve repair and replacement surgery by health grades. Pioneering heart surgeon, Dr. Mark Gerdish.
Our cardiologists and surgeons work together to create a unique advanced care plan. We established Indiana's first dedicated heart valve center. Patients with the most complex heart conditions come to us for our expertise and experience in pioneering next-generation techniques and landmark research. Our innovative spirit has created a tradition of accomplishment, leading to our top 2% national ranking for heart surgery with health grades.
Franciscan St. Francis Health, a century of inspiring health. Schedule an appointment or second opinion with our world-renowned valve team. Then you'll know your heart is in the right place. Call 877-78-VALVE. That's 877-78-VALVE.
Ron found out he was in big trouble with the IRS.
Between the state and the feds, I found out I owed $70,000.
Ron had no idea what to do.
There was no way I could have paid that off. They were getting ready to garnish my wages. Who knows what else?
Until he heard about 911 tax relief.
911 tax relief. That was exactly what I needed. They talked to the IRS for me. I didn't have to make one phone call. They just kept those guys off my back. And within an hour, they had it figured out. Done.
911 tax relief has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. So if you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes and you're faced with bank levies or wage garnishments, or if you have unfiled tax returns, do what Ron did and call 911 Tax Relief at 800-654-5464. You may be able to eliminate up to 85% of what you owe.
Seriously, 911 tax relief saved everything. My house, my cars, they saved my marriage.
Call 800-654-5464. 800-654-5464.
There's a current flowing through Indianapolis, more than a current of electricity to power your day. It's a current of IPL employees helping their neighbors. Whether it's planting trees at local parks or serving the youth and elderly in our neighborhoods, IPL's people are taking the time to make sure a growing city grows together. In fact, of all the power we provide, our power to give back could be the most important. IPL, a current flowing from the heart of Indianapolis.
Right size, right care, right here. That's Riverview Health, previously Riverview Hospital. To see our locations in Hamilton and Tipton counties, visit riverview.org.
To talk to Tony Katz, Call 800-571-9422 or 239-9393. This is Tony Katz Tonight.
Your go.
Tony Katz Tonight, everybody. 317-239-9393, toll free 800-571-9422. I'm telling you, it's getting completely insane on Twitter. It is, it's precious. And I'll play with it for a while, and then I'll turn off and go about my life, and they'll be like, no, wait, this is what sustains me. Oh, absolutely terrific. Absolutely, positively terrific. Not terrific, Indianapolis not getting the Super Bowl in 2018 because they don't have a new stadium. NFL is pay for play, ladies and gentlemen. No new stadium, you don't get to play. You don't get to play. So Minneapolis will be getting the Super Bowl because they have a new billion-dollar stadium. They supposedly had all the money together, everything together. Jeff Saturday, former center, was in Atlanta as part of the Indianapolis delegation. He expressed his disappointment. I felt we put together a great package and presented it well. It just wasn't for us. It wasn't the right time, and so ultimately the owners made the decision to go elsewhere. Yeah, when you have a new stadium, you have a better chance of getting the Super Bowl. That's now how it works. No question about it. I look forward to seeing Indianapolis get the Super Bowl again, but I have had people tell me on Twitter, you're still paying off the last Super Bowl. I don't know. How much did it cost? What was the impact to the taxpayer in Indianapolis or in Indiana? And is it still being paid off, or is that something that just someone says and they don't have the facts behind it? Because I'm not sure. There's always a conversation about pro teams and whether or not they actually bring dollars, right? That's always a conversation. But I always thought that the Super Bowl or one of these highlight events was different. Like, you want that in your city, that it brings a tremendous amount of money. I didn't say it didn't cost money, whether it be security or who knows what else is necessary in terms of infrastructure. But you take Indianapolis, they've already done a Super Bowl. How much more infrastructure could they need than what they already have? They've already built Georgia to be a party corridor. They already have the hotels now. They don't need to build new ones. They've got them. You've got all this interconnected downtown, which is pretty fantastic. So I personally would like to see it. I personally would like to see it, but if you don't have the new stadium, you don't you don't get the love. That's clearly the way it goes. Now the chat room is now getting into the fight on Twitter. Seriously, the number of notifications on my Twitter account, it's crazy. It's just, this is going to be a joy. I mean, it's going to last for about 10 minutes. That's exactly how long it's going to last. So boring. But I don't even want to call it boring. It's both. What's interesting about it, and I don't mean to harp on it. It's that it's coordinated, and I am stunned by the level of coordination that these people are able to put together in these attacks. It goes to show how much You need to be on top of these things. It shows how much you need to be watching and paying attention and realizing what it is that you're up against. It would be one thing to say, hey, it's somebody who doesn't like you and they're saying they're not like you. That's not what this is about. This is about trying to engage in disrupting and hurting and damaging reputation. That's why you see the coordinated efforts. And if they thought that it didn't work, I mean, online reputation, if you play in a public space, does matter. I mean, there are whole companies that'll keep an eye on your reputation online. Me, I've never been one of those people. There's some people who love the Twitter fights. I don't have time for that. I'm not interested in loving a Twitter fight. That's crazy talk. It's social media. It's people hiding behind keyboards and speaking like they would never speak to you in real life. Always remember that. None of these people would do this in real life. They're children. They're cowards. They're all cowards. So, but they found social media as a way to try and hurt reputations, and that turns them on. I mean, they're fetish. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a guy who's a believer that it's okay to have a fetish or two. I mean, knock yourself out. As long as you're not hurting anybody, unless you consent to the being hurt, it's totally fine by me. A fetish where you actually enjoy attacking other people online, that doesn't make any sense. But I figure when you're done playing the 10 or 11 hours, or however many hours they play of Call of Duty, I guess this is what you're kind of into. Let me go to Ronald on line 1. Ronald, welcome to Tony Katz Tonight. What's up, Ronald?
How are you tonight?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you?
Well, I'm doing pretty good, but there's two things I wanted to say about the reason why we probably didn't get the Super Bowl. Number one is we still haven't paid off the police services we had to use when the Super Bowl was here.
Is that true? Is that fact?
That is a fact, because they've been talking about it for months since Super Bowl, and I've talked to quite a few people that I know that are up in the higher ranks and everything. They said that they're still paying off of the.
And what's the other reason?
The other reason is I think Ursay hurt us by getting caught with all them drugs and everything.
I don't know, man.
If he'd have let his daughter run the thing and go up there and handle it, I think it would have been done right. But you could see when he was on TV that he was still.
I appreciate the phone call, Ronald, quite a bit. I really do appreciate the phone call. I don't know if the Ursay part hurt it. It's much more has to do with the stadium than anything else. I'm willing to go on record with that. An absolute pleasure, P-Funk Night here at Tony Katz Tonight, to be with all of you. Ashley, thank you. Follow me on Twitter at Tony Katz, TonyKatz, TonyKatz.com. Tomorrow, everyone, much love. Take care.
In retirement, noticed that I was not able to hear some of the things
I'll be with you in a second there,
to
Ashley.
me in my life.
Longtime Indy weatherman Stan.
Guys, thank you so much. Enjoy the Twitter festivities. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.